Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Aussie Formula Racing Round 8, Season 6, here at the Singapore Grand Prix. We've got Tier 1 now, we've got Tier 2 as well in about an hour and a half. Some good quality racing here around the streets of the Marina Bay. It's a 5-kilometre circuit, 23 turns. It is going to be the longest race of the season here. And especially if we get some rain or any safety cars, could spice things up quite nicely. So back in Season 4, Turn 3, we had Seb battling for the lead with Mikau, showing how difficult the traction is on this straight as he gets a big dirty tank slapper on the exit. We had a big bit of drama at Turn 6 between PTR and Flyboy last season. Peter getting the run on the Mercedes, tried to go for the gap which was closed, and big collision, both of them ending up in the wall, breaking their front wings. And a bit of strategy can come into play. You can pass here at Singapore, as Bandcamp showed us on Panda going into Turn 7 on the soft tyre, decided to go with an alternate strategy, and it did pay dividends for him. The Renault driver able to come back through the field and get some solid points. We had a bit earlier in the race after a safety car restart, Turn 12 on the bridge, Apollo Pepsi spinning on his own. Thankfully ghosting Fever, and the Alfa Romeo managed to get through without a collision. We had Peter as well, the other Alfa Romeo, making a massive dive bomb and pass on Panda's Red Bull. Need a bit of bravery to get the move done there, and yours truly showing you have to be alert on a street circuit. Locking up at Turn 18, going straight on into the Emirates signage there, breaking the front wing. Drivers will have to be careful with that tonight. Expect the damage build to be quite high here with not a lot of space and definitely no margin for error. I believe I'm joined by Bandcamp this evening. Not sure if he's in the lobby yet. No, not there yet. But he'll be co-commentating this evening. Some information there for your viewing pleasure. Okay, currently everyone out on the soft tyres. Quite a bit of traffic out there at the moment, all jostling for position, but I do believe we have Apollo Pepsi is about to start the first flying lap of this qualifying session here at Singapore. Comes into Turn 1, good amount of curve on the inside. At Turn 3, very low grip corner, as we saw in the preamble. Looks like he negotiated that quite nicely. Comes through into Turn 4. Pretty conservative there. Obviously not wanting to make any mistakes early on. You just want to get a nice banker lap done. And then push a bit later where you can afford a mistake. Thank you so much, Richard, for the follow. And thank you, Rip the Beans, for the follow as well. So we watch the McLaren driver coming through the second sector. Oh, he has a little moment there just in the bridge. Nearly exactly the same spot where he had the issue in the race last season. Managed to catch it, but it will cost him a few tenths. Does go purple as the first car on his flyer. Little lock up, it takes a good amount of curb. Runs a bit wide though. That's well observed, Ali. Yeah, I wonder if that's a bit of a strategy for him. Do this banker lap without using the full power of the car, just to set a lap. It's the worst thing you want to do in qualifying here at Singapore is to DNF your first lap without anything on the board. He does come across at 137.895. And we've got Geordie coming across with a 134.810. So yeah, definitely Pepsi not running any ERS. It does have a time on the board. Check a little bit further back. I think we've got one of the Haas drivers of Artanis starting his lap now. goes purple in the first sector as Matt Zoid sets the fastest lap of the session with a 134.424. Great result there from the AlphaTauri driver. Bieber 34.8 as well. A little bit of time to find there for him. Got Peter as well. Flyboy setting times. Quite challenging Matt Zoid there as we welcome Bandcamp to the commentary booth. How are you tonight?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. And yourself?
Yeah, pretty good, thank you. And I'm used to hearing your silver tonsils in Tier 1 commentary booth, so welcome. Thank you very much, BY Shack, for the follow. For those unaware, we have had a switcheroo between Jacob Meister and Bandcamp. Bandcamp racing in Tier 2 for the rest of the season. Jacob doing the rest of the season in Tier 1. As oh no, I've got that little bug where I've got the wrong driver on the fast lap. There we go. I think we've got a full grid as well. All our full-time drivers are in as Tannis comes into the pits. I'm not sure if he invalidated or he made a mistake there, but he's not going to come into the pits. It's a bit surprising. Jump aboard with Breno, combined YouTuber, who's going under the stadium grandstands. Nice little feature of the track here at Singapore. Combined setting a time fast enough for 9th place. Combined getting his first points of the season last week, I believe, at Japan. Quite a good result for Renault, actually. I think both drivers got pretty good results.
Yeah, first time for the season. Both Renault drivers in the points. So Wahid and Panda currently out on track on the medium tyre, the only drivers on the medium tyre at the moment.
Yeah, just looking at these times from some of the front runners of the season, they're all setting pretty slow times on the softs. Looking at Mikau, Fieber, Peter as well, they're all in the high 35s or 36s. I wonder if they're doing what Pepsi was doing before, running no ERS just to get a banker lap, and then they'll come out on the mediums, because the softs really aren't that good around this track. As we noticed that Sid has run out of ERS on his flying lap. He's actually backed off as well before he crosses the line. So I think, yeah, a lot of these drivers, as we said, in the bankers on the softs, and they'll all come out on the mediums, because that is the preferred strategy, to either run medium hard or hard medium.
Well, Pepsi has gone out again on the soft tyre, just on his out lap. So maybe he forgot to turn ERS on. I'm not sure.
Yeah, just look at the time. Big Al looked like he was pushing that lap as well with a 34.443 just behind Matt Zoid. As Panda goes fastest in the first sector on those medium tyres. Oh, he gets so close to that Rolex wall on the outside. He's coming into a bit of traffic. It looks like the Red Bull of Sid just in front of him. He may also be on... No, he's on his in-lap, so he'll need to get out of the way. He does. At the hairpin, it's not the best spot to do it, but I don't think that would have cost Panda any time there. Front of the back straight to the end of Sector 2. Purple again. Dabry reckons that Big Al's going to do a 32 on mediums.
That is a big call.
Yeah, I reckon a lot of the guys are going to be sandbagging if that's the case. As Panda comes around the final corner, we'll see what he does. Only a 35-1. He was running ERS as well, so...
He also ran out before the final corner, so maybe that would have hurt him a little bit.
Yeah, quite possibly. Looks like he's still pushing, so I wonder if he may be setting his time. Oh, he's backed out now. I wonder if he'll set his time on the softs a little bit later in the session. Then jump on board with Williams. Geordie's just started the lap on the softs again, running ERS hot laps, so... Ali asking for onboard to Stars. Let's see, where is he?
He's done 3 laps on these tyres.
I think that's probably just doing a little bit of warm-up before his time, so... I might jump aboard with someone who's setting time. So Geordie goes purple in the first sector. Geordie's done pretty well the last few qualifying sessions. He's managed to get that Williams quite far up the grid most times, but a few of his races have just been a bit unstuck with some bad luck. In Japan, he was running quite high, but ended up out of the points, I think, on penalties. A few issues under the safety car that were resolved by the stewards. And he goes purple in the second sector as well. A little bit of a lock-up as he comes into the fast chicane. Oh, and he's in the wall. He's damaged that front right of his wing. He's going to continue on with the lap. No, he brings it into the pits. So yeah, like we showed in the video at the start, you get that line wrong at all as you come under the grandstand, and you're going to understeer straight into the wall.
Artana's just setting a time of 36.5. His first time lap.
On the softs as well, definitely sandbagging. Two Ferrari drivers down at 15th and 16th.
Pacey. Pacey currently on a lap in Sector 3 as Matsoid sets a new fastest lap at 133.9. Pacey, Wahid and Stars all still yet to set a time, and Stars is still in the pits.
Matsoid, the first of the drivers into the 33s. Got some predictions though in the chat that 33s will be doable on the medium tyre by the end of the session. So we've got 6.5 minutes to go, so there should be a bit of track evolution as Pacey sets a 133.5. So we're going to get into the 132s.
And he ran out of ERS deployment before he even turned left into that final corner. So good lap there from Pacey. To Alpha Tower, he's 1-2.
Wahid as well on his flying lap. Just going out of the grandstand now, he gets to set a time.
Flyboy just jumped up into 4th with a 134.5.
Notice most of the cars in the pits have put on the medium tyre as well. And Wahid comes across the line, P8, 134.992. So you've got Artanis is still on a flying. Oh no, he's turned off his ERS. Going to come to the pits. Got about 5.5 minutes to go. It's going to be a big rush. All the cars are going to be coming out.
T-Mac starting his first flying lap on these mediums. So there's not a lot of time in the session, so I think these will be legitimate laps coming up now.
Yes, as you can see, it's a little bit over a minute 30, so there's enough time to do 2 flying laps.
Or will they have the ERS to do it and the fuel?
Yeah, they may have to do a cool down lap in between just to charge a little bit up. I don't think the overall battery usage is a lot, but it's the deployment. You're only allowed a certain amount per lap, and that's what's cutting off the energy deployment by the end of the lap. So I think some of the top drivers do manage it a little bit by flicking it off in some of the low speed corners just to harvest that a little bit more. So I might want to watch, see if Fever Peter or Mikau are going to do that. So Sam brought the T-Mac's lap to the end, and then we'll jump back to Mikau, who's on his first flying lap on the medium. A little bit understeer by T-Mac there, nearly going into the wall.
Big lock up on the right front there.
And again,
and another one, and he's invalidated.
Yeah, cut the curve too much. So Mikau has caught some traffic. He's got a Haas in front of him. It must be Pondon. I think Mikau is actually on a flying lap, but he's turned off his ERS. I think he's been impeded there by the Haas driver, so that's going to take some life out of his tyres. He's going to have to charge up again. Let's see. Geordie's on another flyer on softs.
Ooh,
Pepsi has left the session. Oh, Geordie getting so close to that wall. He's got just over 3 minutes left in the session. Still got quite a few drivers on their outlaps, but only the 5 cars still in the pits. So everyone's getting ready to set their times as Geordie goes purple in the second sector. Big lock up in the front right though. A bit of traffic with slow Ferrari in front of him. Comes onto the grandstand. Pretty tidy. Quite use the extent of the track limits. Second last corner, comes across the line though. Does 134.1, can't quite get into the 33s like the two AFRs. He's got to watch behind him. He's got Panda on a flying lap. He's going to have to get out of the way. And he does pull to the inside of the track. Every little bit of road he possibly can get away with here, Panda. It's a very committed lap.
Stars finally puts a time on the board of 134.7.
Yeah, he'll be going for another lap, I'm pretty sure. Maybe do a cool down one first. So recharge a little bit of that battery.
I'm not sure if he's going to have enough time. It's going to be very tight.
Should. It's a 1 minute 33 and a bit lap when you're pushing. He's already coming up to turn 4, so should be okay as long as he doesn't get too much traffic.
Blind comes across the line with a 135.3.
Panda catching the other Williams while he gets out of the way, turns in under the grandstands. This looks like a pretty tidy lap, not sure it's going to be good enough to pole. Goes under the overpass. Coming around the final corner. Oh, the rear nearly steps out of him, had to correct it. And he backs off. Okay.
He did improve, but only just.
35 flat, yeah, not good enough to break it into the top 10. He'll jump on board with, so Mick Al's done a 134.8 on those medium tyres. See how Big Al's going is on those mediums. The end of sector 1, it's 3/10 down in his best time. As Jacob Meister freshly promoted up to Tier 1, retires to 134.897 P11, so he will have free choice of tyres for the race. Tay, no, probably be a one-stop, medium to hard for those on the mediums.
Matt Soy coming across the line, and he improves, but not enough to take pole off Pacey for the moment. The Alpha Tower is locking out the front row.
Beaver goes on to P2 now. He split the Alpha Tauris, 133.894 on the medium tyre. Big Al comes around the final corner, comes across the line.
Pacey improved by nearly 2/10 there.
Big Al set a better time on the mediums as well. Peter as well, 34.2. Big Al 34.3, both on the medium tyre. And we've got Wahid coming to the pits on the soft tyre, not able to improve. He'll jump up with Stars, who's on his second flying lap on those mediums, but he's turned everything down, so he's not going to improve. And I think that's pretty much everyone, unless Pondon's going to improve. No, he's got his ERS off.
I think that's everybody finished.
Tay, I think most drivers are going to avoid doing the soft tyre. They do burn out very quickly here at Singapore, just because it is such a low grip track. Is that a bit of rain on the screen as well? I wonder if that's just spoiled a few of the drivers' final runs. A few water drops on the camera.
It's only just started. I don't think it would have really had any effect. Well, the weather forecast is meant to be all dry with some cloud towards the end of the race.
Okay.
So we'll have to wait and see on that one.
That's pretty much it. Just got to wait for Pondon to retire. We're down in P20 though. I don't know that he was able to set a decent time on those mediums. Looks like that's his banker lap that he sets. Good morning, loves a good lunge. Thank you for joining us. We're just waiting for the quali session to end. And there we go.
Yeah, it's proper raining now.
Okay, we'll run through the order. So we've got Pacey on pole, Feber alongside him on the medium tyre, Matt Soyd in third, Geordie in fourth, Peter, Big Al and Sid on the mediums. We've got Flyboy on the softs, Stars and Mikau rounding out the top 10 on the medium tyre. So first driver with free choice will be Jacob Meister, followed by Wahid, Tanis, Panda, Combined, Trin, Smitty, T-Mac, Apollo Pepsi and Pondon. So a few drivers they're not able to get out of the 35s on those medium tyres. But they will have free choice. So those of the drivers in the top 10 on the softs will have to start on those. So expect them to pit very early. Thanks for joining us, Slip Dan from Scotland. It's my dad's home country. Okay, just going to wait for the drivers to load in and select their strategies for the race. Bandcamp, we got any predictions? What do you think is going to play out?
Well, being Singapore, I'm expecting a safety car at some point.
I'm pretty sure it's 100% chance here at Singapore that we'll see some sort of safety car.
So I think whoever can make the most of the safety car is really going to benefit.
Yeah, I think those soft runners, an early safety car will really benefit them because they'll be able to come in and switch to a two-stop if they've got a couple of sets of mediums in the garage. But it can also help extend that stint as well for the medium runners. And get a bit more tyre life out of them.
It'll also be interesting to see what the Alpha Tauri boys can do because I've seen them working pretty closely lately, especially for Singapore. So they might have a strategy up their sleeve. I mean, they both went with the soft tyre for the start.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. You would have thought that they'd split it because the soft's not being able to go too far into the race. It means they're going to have to pit around about the same time. That could compromise whoever's behind on track. So could be a little bit tricky to work out between those two, especially if there is an early safety car. One of them will lose out big time there. Let's have a look at what the tyre choices are for those outside the top 10. It looks like everyone's gone the medium except for Apollo Pepsi and Pondon at the very back of the field, and it's probably a smart decision there. I mean, they're right at the back. They just want to stay out of the trouble. And it also means that they can split strategy with their teammates. Obviously, Artanis and Haas has gone the medium as well. And Feber from McLaren is on the medium tyre. So some smart decisions down there at the back.
And what a week can be in racing. Hey, Apollo Pepsi race winner last week, starting 19th here at Singapore.
Yeah, I think it's probably the pressure of basically, I think it's basically a one-shot quali here at Singapore because you really don't want to be starting on those soft tyres. So you get your eye in with the softs and that lower engine setting as Sid and Flyboy come together and get themselves disqualified from the formation lap. And so basically you've got a lot of pressure to get, one lap right on the medium tyre. And once you use that extra grip that the softs have, when you're really trying to push on the lower grip mediums, I think it's so easy to invalidate and make a mistake. And I think that's what's happened there with Pepsi, unfortunately. But, he was pretty out of it at one point during the race at Japan. So, what's to say, fortunate safety car again. He could come back and could win again. And we saw I think it happened in Tier 2 last year. We had Artanis starting right at the back as well. Managed to finish P2 or P3. So you never know, especially at the longest race of the calendar, just what's going to happen. I definitely don't fancy being Sid or Flyboy sitting on the grid with very cold, medium and soft tyres.
Yep. The leaders are getting close to the end of the lap now, so it won't be too much longer.
Yeah, spread out a little bit. They're going to be wanting to back them up a bit more than that. I'm sitting for too long on the back field. catch up. So they are just coming around the last couple of corners now, so this shouldn't be stationary for too long. And here they go, coming onto the grid now. All with pace as he waits for those lights to come on. Final car in his position. And the lights start to come on, the engine's rev. And we're away. Good start from the two Alpha Tauris on the soft tyres. We've got both of the racing points running very wide to get around the cars. We'll go through the front of the field. Looks like there's a bit of a squeeze. One of the Alpha Tauris causes a bit of a concertina effect through turn 2. And we've got the Alfa Romeo of Peter trying to go around the outside. The racing points go side by side through turn 3 as well, which I'm sure they're not too happy about after a couple of years ago. But they all seem to be pretty well behaved as they come through turn 4 as well. Got a few cars going side by side. A bit further back, we've got the Ferraris jostled for position as well with the Williams. He's doing pretty well as Peter looks to have a bit of a dive as we've got a racing point, goes very deep, and now Stars is actually going to go past his teammate. And we've got a Williams around at the back. There's a Williams around at the back. Looks like Wahid, or possibly, I couldn't quite make it out. Looks like they've got going again.
I think I saw some carbon fibre flying off someone on the back there.
I think it may have been
one. Red Bull around. That's Big Al.
Oh, luckily he's ghosted. We've got a Williams and a Ferrari side by side through the Singapore sling. So go across the bridge. They'll have to go single file through here. What was the McLaren? Has a look at the Mercedes a little bit further back. You really have to commit very early to get a pass to happen there.
So Pondon missing a left front end plate at the moment, letting his teammate through of Artanis. I don't think Big Al picked up any wing damage, so he gets away with that one there.
Yeah, it looked like he just lost the rear. Managed to keep it out of the wall and thankfully ghosted as well because that could have been disastrous for everyone behind. Looks like, is that Pacey in the pits?
No, that's the grid saw.
Yeah.
That's Pondon coming into the pits to replace his front wing.
And of course he started on the hard tyre as well, so he could go medium to the end here, so this might not be the worst possible thing to happen, but certainly not great by any means. I'm just going to jump a little bit further back. Looks like the other half of Artanis, if I can select him, but he's jumping around all over the place. There we go. Had a bit of a look at the McLaren of Apollo Pepsi there. Didn't quite get a move done. I'm just going to have a look at the winners and losers, maybe not until Pondon jumps from first back to last. We've got Matsoy and Mikau side by side of the back straight. We've got Peter just in front. Oh, there's been a collision, big collision. Oh, Peter's out. Matsoid looks like he's... Oh, Matsoid's out as well, I think, or something horrific's happening between those two cars.
He's glitched out on his ghosted car.
And there is a full safety car. Oh, that was a massive incident on the straight. Wow.
I didn't see that. I missed that one.
Oh, no, we caught that on stream. That was... Wow, that was an insane crash. It looks like Matsoid's got a lot of front wing damage, though. I'm going to bring up that replay now. That was absolutely insane. So we've jumped on board as Mikau and Matsoid were going side by side. And Peter looks like he's come across in front of the AlphaTauri and there's been collision. Peter's gone into the wall, and Matsoy very, very lucky to drive away from that incident. And then a weird glitch between the two cars there as well. That was absolutely nuts. And let's have a look at the strategy. So Pacey's coming to the pits to get off those soft tyres. Jacob and Combined both coming into the pits as well. So double stacking from Renault there. God, Wahid's picked up a penalty amidst all of that. Flyboy's coming to the pits to get rid of his soft tyres. He was one of the losers from the start of the race. He dropped down out of the top 10 very, very quickly.
Oh, Matsoid picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding.
It's such a difficult pit entry because the line actually where it's got the speed limit, it's before where you actually have to slow down. So you can hit it, turn it off, get on the throttle again and not get speed down quickly enough when you actually do come across the part. But yeah, wow, it was an absolutely insane lap 2. Okay.
Well, he served his penalty and he didn't really get caught up in the double stack, so
yeah, so both Renault drivers have chucked on the hard tyres. We've also got Pacey on the mediums, but he's picked up a penalty of 5 seconds amidst all of that. We also have T-Mac and Wahid chucking on the hards, Flyboy and Pondon going for the mediums. So I imagine that Pacey, Flyboy, Pondon, T-Mac and Wahid... Actually, no, T-Mac and Wahid won't need to pit. But I imagine anyone who's chucked on the mediums are probably going to go for a 2-stop now, chuck on another set of mediums about just over halfway point of this race. Okay, so Geordie's opted to stay out on those soft tyres. They've done 2 laps already. And the safety car's going to help their tyre life a little bit, but I think he really should have taken that opportunity to come into the pits and at the very least chuck on the mediums and turn it into a 2-stop. It's going to have to stretch out those softs to make a 1-stop work.
Yeah, he might be able to do it. Maybe.
Possibly. I mean, this will help a bit.
It'll be hard.
But he has qualified on those softs, so they're gonna fall off the cliff pretty early. You never know, Singapore. This is only lap 3. We've already seen a safety car, and it's a very long race to go. We're already going to be running very late on this one. So if you're just joining us, this is the reason for the safety car. We had a big incident on the back straight between the Alfa Romeo of Peter and the Alfa Tauri of Matsoid. Just coming together. It looked like there was a bit of lag involved. Definitely some glitches involved there with the Alfa Tauri rejoining. So probably see at the very least this lap. Just looking at the back, Matsoid has caught up to the safety car train, just about. So we may be lucky. It may come in this lap and we should get more racing. But yeah, it's not uncommon for the safety car to stay out for 1 more lap after this. So have a quick look at the winners and losers since the start. So Smitty up 10 positions, he's up to P7. Trent as well up 8 positions in P8. So the 2 Ferraris doing very well. Panda has gone up to P5. He's gained 9 positions since the start. Mikau up 7 positions as well, currently in P3. Apollo Pepsi up 9 positions. He was almost dead last, I think, after qualifying. He's up to P10. Pacey's down 8 positions, but he has pit, so he's got rid of those soft tyres. Got Big Al losing out 6 positions. Jacob Meister losing a couple. We do have Flyboys all losing 7 positions since the start. And Matsoid all the way down the bottom has lost 16 positions since the start of the race. So very unfortunate there, but long way to go. Still got another 27 laps as the safety car is coming in this lap, so thankfully we'll get that extra lap of racing. There are 2 penalties at the moment. Matsoid and Pacey, so both Alfa Tauris have 5-second penalties, so at the next pit stops they will be held for that 5 seconds.
Sharing strategies and penalties, these 2.
Absolutely. Maybe they've been working too closely together this week.
So, Fever.
Yep, on board with him now as he comes up to the grandstand, controlling the field, letting the safety car get away. Second last corner now. Safety car's in a pit lane. And he's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone. And he's had a bit of a jump on Geordie as well. He's dropped back 6 tenths already. He's on a soft tyre, but he may be starting to lose a little bit of their performance now. He's nearly out to a second by the end of the straight. He had a great start there. Just going to look a little bit back for the field. Stars pretty close to the back of his teammate. And Pacey on those fresh mediums, quite close to the back of the Ferraris. Of course, it will be no DRS for the next lap or 2 after the safety car, as we do have Pacey having a good look at the Ferrari going to turn 7. Blocks him there. Single file for a little bit. Just going to jump a little bit further back as Flyboy looks like he's made a move on combined. He's running the hard tyres after that pit stop. tidy safety car restart here. Everyone's being very well behaved after more drama in the opening laps. Stars under a lot of pressure from Panda.
Fever's already got the gap out to 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, the softs are really not working for Geordie after the restart. Macau's down to just 4/10 of a second behind him now.
Pacey is all over the back of this Ferrari of Trin at the moment.
Yeah, basically pushing him under the grandstand there. Macau putting a lot of pressure on the Williams for P2 at the moment, coming up to the final corner now. Bieber does set the fastest lap of the race on those mediums. A little further back, looks like Big Al's about to make a move on the McLaren of Apollo Pepsi into turn 1. He gets it done very easily there. He's got a lot more performance in those mediums compared to Apollo Pepsi's hards. I think Macau's about to have a go at the Williams. The end of Sector 1. Williams positioning in the middle of the road. Racing Point's not quite able to get it done this time around. Jumping back to Pacey. He's side by side with a Ferrari. The same corner. He gets pushed right up into the curb, but I think he's got him into the next corner. A little bit of a lock up, but he has just managed to pull it up. And he's got the move done. Pacey with the leads on the 2-stop strategy. We'll be looking to clear this traffic pretty quickly. Mikan now, who's very close to the back of the Williams, but he's still not able to get the move done. Geordie's just hanging on with those soft tyres, but in the meantime, Phoebe's pulled out a gap of nearly 3 seconds in the rest of the field. Oh, he's basically pushing him by the gearbox. Stars just behind him nearly touches that wall, second last corner. DRS is enabled now. Stars goes very, very wide there. He ran so wide at the exit of the final corner, has picked up a 3-second penalty.
Well, he is still within DRS range of his teammate Macau, so that's going to help him defend against Panda for the moment.
I think this is just about it, I think, for the Williams. Gap's just 2/10, the DRS flap is open from the Racing Point behind. He takes the outside. And, yeah, it clears him before the braking zone at turn 6. There's too many turns in this track, you've got to think about it.
At the end of the DRS straight.
Yes, that's a better way to say it. As Pacey gets past Smitty as well, he's past both Ferraris now. And he sets his eyes forward to the Red Bull of Sid. Stars closing in on the back of Geordie as well. Second Racing Point. Be a lot of pressure on the Williams driver. Just behind Sid, having a look at Panther as well. Go after that really storming start before the first safety cars. Struggling to keep the Red Bull behind at the moment as Pacey's already caught up to the back of him. He's just 2/10 behind now. He's pushing all through the grandstand section. As Geordie peels off into the pits now, his soft tyres are done. Hasn't really been able to extend them much at all.
Yeah, Pacey is definitely reaping in the tyre advantage at the moment as Geordie picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding into the pit lane.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate for the Williams driver, but yeah, I really think he should have pit under that safety car, but now Stars is under a lot of pressure from Panda. Mikau's already pulled out a 3-second gap. He's got the yellow flag at turn 3. Looks like one of the Alpha Romeo. Matsoid has gone around. He's still got his front wing, so he's okay, but Panda trying to get around Stars has managed to get it done, as also Pacey has got past Sid as well, just behind. Is still battling side by side at turn 6. And through 7 and 8 as well. Got a gap of less than a second from P3 all the way down to P11. So now Panda's clear. Looks like Stars is now the cork in the bottle. Gap's already out to nearly a second as Pace, he's just 2 tenths. Oh, he's hit the back of him. He's hit the back of the Racing Point. He's done a bump and run. He's got a good drive out of the hairpin, and he goes to run, but it looks like there's a Red Bull around as well. Looks like Sid has gone around at the hairpin, and he's lost about 8 positions there. It looks like
Pacey's lost his end plate as well, right-hand side.
Yeah, I think Pacey picked that damage up when he hit the Racing Point. The Racing Point's got back past him. It looked like for a moment there, Pace was going to do a bump and run, but...
Patience.
Oh, the Racing Point nearly goes into the wall just before the grandstand. Yeah, I don't think Pace is going to be too happy with that. It's going to affect his performance quite badly. He's going to stay out, though. You can see he's already dropped a couple of tenths to the Racing Point, and he runs very wide at the final corner. Thank you so much for the follow, SSR Hamilton. Has jumped a bit further back. Looks like Cedar's coming to the pits now. And he's picked up some wing damage from that spin at the hairpin. Triple boy Smitty now, who's right on the back of the AlphaTauri. I think he's going to get in this corner. It looks like Stars as well. Very defensive there. We've got a Williams round as well at turn
Wahid
into the turn 3. So both Williams drivers in the wars a little bit.
Sid also in the pits, putting on the hard tyre.
Big Al tapping the back of Trin. I don't think he's picked up any damage, but drivers all getting caught up in a bit of concertina behind Pacey now with that wing damage. He's really holding up the rest of the field.
He'll be gutted, Pacey. He was making his way through the field.
He ran so wide. He's nearly collected the outside wall. He's got to have to come into the pits, otherwise he's going to go into the wall. This isn't the track you want to have any wing damage. So the Ferraris both having DRS now. It still can't get past that AlphaTauri on the straights. A little less wing. A bit more slippery in a straight line, but it's going to be so slow in the corners. Thank you so much for following Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, and Pacey's lost the defense of DRS. As he's 1.3 seconds behind now. He's staying out.
Still staying out, but this will help his teammate Matsoid by holding up the rest of the field. It's definitely going to compromise his race. He's still able to stay in front of the Ferrari. He's going to turn 1. It's a very hard straight to get past. We've got a really nice angle from the back of the Ferrari looking forward at the AlphaTauri. Should be able to get the move done at the end of this straight here. Goes in the middle of the road. He's still doing a very good job at defending. Ferrari really doesn't have the pace to be able to get the move done. It's going to be so frustrating for everyone behind. Obviously, every car between P5 and P12 is within DRS. Thank you for the follow, The Butcher. Just watching the lead at the moment. Feber's got the lead out to 4.6 seconds. Panda 3.2 seconds behind Mikau. And Stars at 4 seconds behind Panda. And it's basically everyone else on the straight now. A few stragglers at the back, just catching up some time. But I think the longer pace he stays out, the more chance they'll have to come back. Drivers cutting the curve there quite dramatically. So it looks like the McLaren of Pepsi is having a good look on this little straight here. Not quite able to make anything happen there. Smitty's so close to the back of Pacey now. I think he's had enough. I think he's going to try and have a go into turn 1. He's had a pretty decent exit. Right up in the back is the AlphaTauri's toe, and he does make the move into turn 1. He's picked up a penalty. He ran a bit deep. I think he was a bit frustrated, stuck behind the AlphaTauri there, but he's got the move done. He should be able to make that 3 seconds back, so long as Pacey stays out.
Big Al going for the undercut here, coming in for the hard tyre.
And that's the other thing. While there is this group of traffic going very slowly, this is the opportunity for the undercut to work. So you'll come out in clean air, and you'll be able to push and make that time back up. This Flyboy picks up a 3 second penalty as well, so he's currently in this train. So So the drivers, I imagine, are going to be a bit frustrated. It's very tricky to overtake here when you're not the first car behind in the train. As we see now, Smitty's pulled out over half a second already on Pacey. So the rest of the cars just following like a snake through the twisty section of Sector 2. Ferrari of Trin hoping to get a decent exit. Got Jacob must make a little bit of a move on Apollo Pepsi there. I saw that McLaren was on the dirty side of the track out of the hairpin. And Jacob has moved up to P9. Notice as well, Matzoid has joined the back of this train now, so Pace's strategy of staying long has worked as he peels off into the pits to get that front wing replaced. And I wonder if he'll jump onto the hard tyres now. Unfortunately, the strategy's not quite worked out for him with that damage.
Altanis also pitting, and Stars as well in the pits.
Yeah, so this will be the pit window now for the hard tyres to go to the end.
And Pacey serving his 5-second penalty as well. Geordie's made some gains now. Hitting a few laps ago from the soft tyres as we've got Apollo Pepsi coming back at Jacob Meister now. Well, there's a little bit of contact, but just enough room given by the McLaren. Let's go side by side through turn 8. And the McLaren has got the spot back, but the Renault trying to hang around the outside, but it's very difficult to get past there. We've got Flyboy as well, just behind. These guys have broken off from the toe of the Ferrari in front. Trin's now nearly 2 seconds behind Smitty, who now is in clean air. It's really been able to put the foot down. Also, Pacey's come out behind Big Al.
Yeah, that 5-second penalty really will have hurt him.
Plus the wing change.
So we've got the Racing Point of Mikau has just come into the pits. We've also got the Mercedes of Pandas in the pits. And the Ferrari of Smitty have come into the pits as well, all jumping onto the hard tyres to go to the end from here. As Pace has picked up another 3-second penalty, obviously pushing to try and get back onto the back of the field. So it'll be interesting to see how much of an undercut Mikau's able to get on Fever, if any at all. So gap was about 5 seconds. Came to the pits, so keep a close eye on that. Let's see what happens. Matzoid making a move on Pondon. Side by side going to turn 8. There's contact between the two. It looks like Pondon had a little bit of a lock-up and understeered into the side of the AlphaTauri. It looks like they both still have their front wings intact, but yeah, Matzoid had the move done, but yeah, just got pushed very wide. He's trying to jump a little bit further back, and Artanis has made the pass on Smitty as well. His tyre's not quite up to temperature yet, and he's under a lot of pressure behind from Sid. He's been on those hards for 3 laps. Jump up to Matzoid now, who's got the DRS on Pondon. Can't quite get the move done at the end of the straight. And Phoebe is in the pits. So have a quick look. So Mikau's actually come out into free air and clean air, so he's 4 seconds behind T-Mac. So Geordie's picked up another penalty. Jump on board with Mikau. Come up to the final corner now as Fever's exiting the pits. Look at this delta. The Fever's fed back into P7 just behind Matzoid, so he's come out into some traffic. And we'll see what that gap is to Mikau. It's about 4.6 seconds. He's managed to get a few tenths back, but I think Fever, being in that clean air, is able to make a bit of time as Ponton aggressively defends the inside there at turn 5. They go side by side again into turn 6. And they make a bit of contact again. And now the McLaren of Fever is right in the middle of this and is able to get past the AlphaTauri, but the AlphaTauri sticks it on the inside as well. A little bit of concertina happening there with Ponton just holding up the McLaren. Matsoid has lost out there. Fever looks like he's positioning himself to get a move on the pass just past the bridge, but he covered it off. Got a yellow flag, got a Williams around at turn 10.
That's Geordie.
It's the Haas of Ponton and Fever going side by side at the end of the DRS straight, and Fever is clear of the traffic.
Geordie's also picked up some wing damage with that spin.
Oh, as Matsoid nearly loses it next to the corner there.
I wonder if T-Mac is going to have some team orders to try and slow up Macau at all.
Yeah, so those hards take a little bit of time to warm up, but Macau has caught up to T-Mac. Those fresh hards should be able to get him through it. Not too shabbily. Oh, it's Matsoid pushing Ponton through turn 1. Back with Macau. He's almost about to get past T-Mac. It's side by side going through turn 4. And he gets the move done. Oh, nearly. Oh, they're side by side still. Both of them have DRS. And he does get the move done. He's up into P8 now. As Matsoid and Ponton still going at it. Out having a look at the back of the Ferraris now. Got 2 Ferraris in 13th and 14th and 2 Red Bulls 15th and 16th. Macau's eyes forwards, trying to get past Matsoid now. He's been on those mediums for 11 laps. He'll be due to come in a couple more. But I don't think Macau will want to wait. He'll want to get through this quickly because Fever's just pulling away further up front. They're side by side. Oh, he nearly gets shoved into the wall there by the AlphaTauri. He locked up, ran very deep. And the Racing Point has managed to get through. Oh, the Racing Point nearly brushed the wall there just before the grandstand. Meanwhile, Fever making a move on combined into turn 1. And he gets done pretty cleanly. Looks like he's having far less trouble getting through this traffic compared to Macau. He's currently stuck behind the Haas. We've got a yellow flag. Looks like one of the Red Bulls has gone around. Looks like Sid's gone into the wall, perhaps in the second last corner. So Macau got DRS on the Haas driver. It's a bit of a sitting duck there on the straight. Pretty comfortably gets past him. And that allows the battle between Ponton and Matsoid to continue. Jumping a little bit further up. Fever's got through Flyboy as well. Fever now up to P3. So we've still got Apollo Pepsi leading the race. He started last and is currently winning. But we expect him to come in for the mediums in the next couple of laps. He'll be hoping for a fortunate safety car just to help him get a little bit of a cheaper pit stop. I'm just going to jump back a little bit further. We've got combined on the back of Flyboy. Not quite able to get the move done. Jump a bit further back. Matsoid still continues battles. The 2 Mercedes right on their back. And yeah, Panda has caught the back of T-Mac. So will Toto give the orders. We'll be hearing T-Mac exchange. And there it is. There's the order. Panda's been allowed through. Looks like Flyboy's coming into the pits, which is freed up Combined and Macau. As the AlphaTauri of Matsoid comes to the pits and he speeds again. Oh no, no.
So the top 4 is McLaren, Renault at the moment.
Yeah, very good result so far for them. Fever, of course, The only one who doesn't have to pit again. Expecting Pepsi to come in soon. Just going to jump up to Panda, who's right on the back of Ponda, and making a move on the first DRS straight, and gets done before the braking zone. Really comfortable pass there. Feber's having a good look at Jacob coming into the Singapore sling. Decides to back out. It's not a great place to pass. You run out of space very quickly there. So come over the bridge. He's a bit too far back to make a move into the hairpin, but if he gets a decent exit out of the hairpin, should be able to use that DRS. Renault goes to the racing line. Just gave up the position. I think Jacob knows it's not really his fight, so doesn't put up much defence there. As Geordie sets a fast lap of the race, the 138.7. Mikau managed to get past Combined as well on the same straight. Again, Combined don't think really put up much of a fight. It's just not his battle. Not worth risking any wing damage here. T-Mac as well on the back of the Haas. Quantum proving to be a bit of a thorn in the side of all these guys trying to get through. As he does peel off into the pits to get rid of those mediums, and he'll chuck on. I think it'll be another set of mediums because he was one of the soft runners to pit. Oh no, he pit on the hard tyre, I think, at the start. So he should be able to chuck on another set of mediums.
Yeah, another set of mediums going on.
So he'll run those to the end, so he'll have a bit better performance than the others, but just going to try and find a good spot to pass. And the field spread out a little bit. We do have Big Al just behind Smitty here, who's actually lost track position to his teammate Trin. So in the first stint, Smitty was leading by well over a second. So he's now got Big Al who's set the fastest first sector of the race on those hard tyres. Trin catching out to the back of Hartanis as well for P9. Nice little train forming. So you've got Fever catching up to his teammate, Poly Pepsi. I don't imagine there'll be much of trouble getting past. Smitty really struggling to stay in DRS range with Trin at the moment. Trin has managed to pick up DRS on Artanis now.
Pepsi letting Fever through. Pepsi coming into the pits.
Yeah, you chuck on the mediums now to the end. Jump up with Pandas right on the back of Combines to the final corner. It's going to be close enough to get past. So he's going for the move into turn 1 and he gets it done. Keeps within track limits as well. Nice tidy pass. Pepsi all the way down to P12 now. I think he's going to lose the spot to Pacey. Past the halfway mark of the race now. 12 laps to go. Currently Feber leads from Jacob Meister by 5 seconds, but Mick out right on the back of him now. So it looks like through all that traffic, Mick out has lost out a bit. The gap's now blown out to over 5 seconds. And managed to get past Jacob pretty comfortably. On the back, T-Mac under pressure from Stars, Mick-out's teammate. Oh, as the racing point goes very deep into the corner. Nearly hitting the back of the Mercedes, but hopefully no contact made. Still Red Bull, Big Al looking to get past Smitty. Not quite close enough yet, but definitely looks like he's got a lot more pace than the Ferrari driver. jump up to Stars again, who's just done a half a second behind T-Mac now in the Mercedes. Should be able to get the move done. Mercedes goes to the inside to defend, but can't really do too much. He's on very old hard tyres. I think he may actually be trying to go onto the softs at the end after this. He's leaving very late to pit.
Yeah, that sounds likely. But he will be a lot quicker than everybody else around him.
Big Al, just a couple of tenths behind Smitty in the Ferrari. He's got DRS now. Maybe a sitting duck, but the Red Bull just doesn't have the pace on the straight to get past him. Stars picking up a 3-second penalty, yeah. Big Al. Oh, Smitty jumps to the inside to block the Red Bull at the last second. He picks up a 3-second penalty, running a bit deep again. Trying to outrun. Oh, he nearly loses a big tank slapper on the exit of turn 3. And Big Al gets through. Ferrari making a big mistake there. But I think he's lost DRS as well. Yeah, he has got DRS. So Big Al's got the move done. He's going to jump a little bit further back as I think Matsoid's about to have a go at Flyboy. Oh, Flyboy losing the rear in the exit at turn 4. It's going to compromise his run, and yeah, Matsoid on the inside. It's in front, and yeah, not much that Flyboy can do there. He picks up a 3-second penalty on the exit of turn 6. To the Mercedes of T-Mac. He's on those very old hard tyres, really struggling to keep Artanis and the Haas behind. I think he's got him here. Oh no, the Mercedes does very well to block the attack on the inside, but Artanis with a great switchback. The end of the DRS straight, side by side with the Haas, but the Haas, yeah, was able to get the job done. Trim now. Right on the back of the Mercedes. I think T-Mac's got a pit. And he's just rear sliding all over the place on those hard tyres. I know he's staying out. He's staying out. Let's quickly run through the penalties. Panda's got 3 seconds. Stars has 6. We've got a safety car.
Safety car.
What happened
there? What
is
that for?
Someone lose a wing? I think so. Didn't notice anything.
No.
Right, Michael Massey clearly deciding that he needed to bunch the field up for the last few laps. So, all right. So they've got the Haas of Pondon has come into the pits. And,
this is going to be tight for Renault. There's only a handful of seconds between them. They're going to have to double stack.
I see the 2 Williams drivers as well, quite close together, but yeah, Geordie's coming to the pits, Waheed comes into the pits. They should be able to get in and out before FIBA comes past, but be interesting to see what the leaders do here. Do they come into the pits or do they try and go to the end? To expect at least 2 laps of safety car.
I'd be pitting for fresh softs if I had them.
Yeah, you've only got 8 laps to the end. Oh, is Geordie going to get out of the pits before Waheed comes in? No, Waheed does get held. Oh, Waheed's got no front wing. I wonder if he's lost his front wing and that's triggered the safety car. Okay, that makes sense.
FIBA's in the pits.
Yep, what's McCall going to do? He comes in as well. Now, watching as Panda comes in the pits as the Jacob. This is so good for Renault. Jacob coming in. Been on those hards for 18 laps. Just going to see, is there going to be any issue for combines here with getting held? Jacob's in the stop now. He's out. And it's not too bad.
You'll take that.
Yeah,
You'll take that.
That's not too bad. I think he got held a little bit anyway by the traffic in the lane. So I think his net position is exactly the same. So unless... No, I think he hasn't lost out anything at all there. So he comes out in P11 behind Flyboy. And yeah, that's a pretty good result for Renault there. They have... Interesting, no one's chucking on the soft tyres to the end. So they might think...
Arthanis has and Condon has.
The two Haas drivers opting for fresh softs.
And if you look at Big Al, 11 lap old hards, Smitty 9 lap old hards, Trin 8 lap old hards in second, third, and fourth.
Oh, I bet Mick Al would have. I hope that they'd pit as well, but that's really hurt Mick Al now.
Well, I don't imagine they'll be that hard to get past, but Weber, on the other hand, is in front of all of them on fresh mediums.
Yeah, but...
So he's got a 3-car buffer to Mikau.
But that's the thing. I mean, Mikau, I think, while sure he'll get past them on the straights once DRS is enabled, I think he's going to struggle to get past them quickly until that happens, which is just going to help Weber. Like, he's got clean air in front of him, he's going to have fresh tyres, it's going to rain. He's in a really good position here. Who else didn't pit? We've got Apollo Pepsi, only 3 lap old mediums, so he's up in P6, so he's done very, very well after starting at the back of the grid. So like we were saying before, you never know what's going to happen. And you've got Trin, Big Al and Smitty on old hards in front of him. He may still get on the podium, Apollo Pepsi, so that'd be a great result for McLaren to get a double podium out of that. Thank you very much for the follow, Papa Fresh. As they go around another time. Last few cars are still quite a ways off the train, so expect there to be at least one more lap. This. So yeah, the two Haas drivers opting for the softs to the end. Being under safety car, they may be able to make it, but performance might be a bit slow towards the end.
I don't think Sid's returned either, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. Should leave the session when there's a fortunate safety car. Able to make the most of it, so thanks for following F1 game streams. So just here, lap 24 of 31, so just got a few more laps to go. Hopefully this will be the last lap of the safety car, just waiting for a few stragglers to catch up before we go back to green flag racing. So just got a safety car because one of the Williams drivers lost his front wing, and that was enough for the game to trigger the safety car. So most drivers came into pit for fresh mediums. Do have a couple opting for the softs, and we've got 3 drivers in the top 5 who have not pit under safety car, so they're running old hard tyres. So Mikau's got a bit of traffic to negotiate before he can get back onto the chase of Weber, who's our current race leader. Race division, how you going? Hopefully we have the signal any second now that we'll resume racing. There's still a bit of a gap between the train and the last couple of cars, so we may have one more lap under the safety car.
Looks like we're going for another lap.
Just as Williams catches up. Oh, it's in this lap. It's in this lap. Okay, this is good.
That is a very late call.
Oh, we're not going to see Magello restart here, are we? Let's come off at the final corner. Weber warming up his tyres. When's he going to go? He's gone now. He's gone now. He's got his overtake on. And he's jumped to Tren again. Tren now holding off Big Al behind. Mikau right on the back of the Ferrari of Smitty as well. Not able to get the move done into turn 1. This is going to be the car to watch as he comes back through. These few drivers who didn't pit, and he's already alongside Smitty. The exit of turn 3. Side by side going into turn 4. Smitty making it very difficult for the racing point, but he does get the move done. And he's right on the back of the Red Bull now as well. I don't think he'll get him into turn 5 or 6. As Ferrari thinks about coming back at the racing point. I don't think Mikau is going to enjoy that very much. As it looks like Panda has a bit of a moment trying to get past the McLaren of Apollo Pepsi. Oh, Mikau is less than a tenth behind Big Al. So you're going to go into the hairpin. Red Bull doesn't cover it, and yeah, Mikau very aggressively dives on the inside, does get the move without contact, so well done to both drivers for allowing that to happen. And Mikau now less than a second behind Trin, but Fever, importantly, already out to 3 seconds lead over Trin. He's really bolted after the safety car restart, and it's what we were a bit worried about. Mikau getting caught behind that traffic, is not able to stick with the McLaren. Got a bit further back, Artanis getting past Flyboy. P11 is on those fresh soft tyres, so it seems to be working for Haas. It looks like they made a good strategy call there, and he has been able to almost get back into the points. Jumping a bit further back up to Mikau, who's now a couple of tenths behind Tring now. So much quicker in the slow corners. We should see him get past into turn 1. Yeah, he's before the start-finish line. He's already got past the Ferrari, and he's now in the lead at turn 1. But Williams looks like he's gone around at the final corner as well. Wade picking up a 3-second penalty for his efforts, and Mikau is now clear of the traffic, but he's got 5 seconds to catch on Fever with just 5 laps to go. It's definitely doable, but I don't know if he's got the pace to be that much quicker than Fever, but we'll just have to wait and see. Let me a little bit further back. Panda looks like he's having a go at Apollo Pepsi into turn 5, side by side. And to keep it clean, McLaren forcing the Mercedes out wide, still holding position. The Mercedes sent it to the inside, and no, the McLaren stays in front. Great driving by Pepsi. Oh, the Mercedes has a bit of a look at diving the McLaren into the hairpin. Pepsi has a shocking exit, lit up the rears, and it's left him vulnerable to the Mercedes, but he's got the inside line. Importantly, there's a bit of wheel banging there as the Mercedes turned in before McLaren did. McLaren's still in front though. So it looks like contact. It looks like they've gone off. They've gone off. They got stuck together, and it looks like wing damage from the McLaren. And they're both in the runoff area, and they are out of the points. As Fever sets the fastest lap of the race. Mikau comes across, he's now 6 seconds behind, so it looks like Fever's really pushing now. Big Al having a good look at Trin going all the way across to the pit wall to try and break the tow. DRS has only just been enabled, so he won't have it until the next straight. Jordy picks up another 5-second penalty, speeding in the lane. Out, having a look at the Ferrari of Trin, can't quite get it done.
Ferrari's Smitty has hit the wall. He's lost his end plate.
Oh yeah, and the Stars and Artanis both getting through. Yeah, he's lost his left end plate there. We can see it on the screen now. And that's unfortunate. Those 13-lap old Haas really struggling. Ferrari covers the inside of the hairpin, but Jacobmeister just goes around the outside of the hairpin and gets past the Ferrari, and it looks like Pacey
as well.
Oh, the Ferrari has just got no pace at all.
Yeah, the hard tyres plus the damaged wing.
And look at Matsoid running in P5 after that horrible start, where he's at the back of the field with wing damage, and he's P5. He does have a penalty though, so that will hurt his finishing position with how bunched up everyone is, but a great effort for him to be so far up the field. Mikau's taken a little bit of time out of Fever that lap, gets down to 5.8 seconds, but a lot of work to do in the remaining 4 laps. So we've got 2 battle packs at the moment. We've got a pack between 3rd, and as we see Big Al getting through on Trin, as I say that. And Flyboy managed to get by Smitty. The Red Bull's gone around. Big Al's gone around at turn 3. He's gone off to the dirty side of the track, and he's lost the rear and all of those positions now. Just jumping back a little bit further, looks like Ponton and T-Mac were able to get through. Wahid there, who's going backwards combined, has also got past as well, but he tries to send it into turn 4.
They were 3 wide going into turn 1.
Very, very risky there. And so Trin, P3 now. Matsoid under a lot of pressure from Stars just behind. Of course, do have some penalties here. Matsoid's got 8 seconds worth. Stars has 9 seconds worth. Pacey has 3 seconds worth, and Flyboy has 6 seconds worth. So this top 10 will change once those penalties are applied post-race. But at this point, it looks like our podium is Feebert, Mikau, and Trin. But Trin under a lot of pressure, both Matsoid and Stars right behind. And Artanis behind as well. We've got the Renault and the Haas side by side through the hairpin. And now the Renault's been compromised on the straight. The AlphaTauri of Pacey trying to go around the outside. Renault leaves space, and he's now on the dirty side of the track. And the AlphaTauri's managed to get through. I think Jacob may be trying to play smart here. He knows that Pacey has a 3-second penalty. Lets him go through. A bit further back, Artanis with those soft tyres. Maybe that was the master strategy from Haas. He's absolutely tearing through this field. And yeah, we're just seeing in the chat that he may well finish on the podium here if he's able to catch up to Trin, who's just over a second in front of him. He's got 3 laps to go. He can still get on the podium.
Well, Artanis has no time penalties.
Exactly.
So technically, he's already in front of Matsoid.
But can those softs hold out the next couple of laps? He's got Pacey just behind him on medium tyres that are the same age. So I can't help but think he may struggle here. He has got past Stars now, so he's just got Matsoid in front of him. And then Trin, the 3rd podium position. But he is on those 14-lap-old hard tyres. Stars trying to hold on, and a little bit of contact between Stars and Pacey. They're side by side now as they head into the Singapore Sling. This is not going to end well at all. And it looks like Pacey has yielded. Stars stays in 6th position. I think there's a little bit left to go in this fight. And Pacey's done it again. He's done it again. He's run up the back of the racing point, and he's broken his right end plate at the hairpin. Clearly, he thinks he can go deeper into that corner than a lot of other cars, but he's just not being smart about it, and has made contact again at the end of the straight, and the AlphaTauri nearly loses the rear, and the Renault has been able to get through as well. Oh, there's a bit of contact between Pacey and Big Al. They both managed to get through there safely, but oh, Pacey, I think he's a little bit too desperate to get through. He's picked up some damage again. Artanis now, he's so close to the back of Matsoid. We've got 2 laps to go. Gap between our leaders is closing, but not quickly enough. Artanis still half a second behind Matsoid. Stars is staying right with him as well, so I don't think this battle is done yet. Matsoid still has DRS on Trin as well, so it's going to make Artanis' job a little bit harder, and those softs are going to be getting slower and slower as we get closer to the end of the race. Going to jump back a little bit because Pondon has just managed to get past T-Mac on the straight, but T-Mac's coming back at him, and he's able to get the move done, so Pondon is back out of the points. T-Mac does have penalties though. This is going to be hurting Pondon, who's not been able to capitalise as much as Artanis has with those soft tyres. Got a lap and a half to go. Oh, as Artanis nearly runs up the back of Matsoid. DRS on him though, but still Matsoid able to keep in front. Still got a bit of a toe, and DRS off Trin, who's quite happily just sitting out there in P3. He's dropped right off the back of Mikau, but I don't think he's too worried about that. He just wants to get the good result for Ferrari.
Final lap has started now.
Yeah, the gap's back out to over 6 seconds. I think Mikhail might be going for the fastest lap of the race now. Save a bit of ERS that lap. And now Tanis, he's under a lot of pressure from Stars. He's just a couple of tenths behind. I think those softs have faded though. He's still with Matsoid, but he's not really getting into a position where he can pass him. He's going to jump a bit further back as looks like T-Mac, Pondon and Combined battling. Looks like Combined starting to close up on Pondon, whose tyres are also going off. Yeah, the Renault getting past the Haas driver. No, not quite able to get it done. Pondon stays in P11. Jumping back up to Artanis now. Just a little battle pack for P3. Starting to spread out a little bit. Those tyres are starting to fade. Very little ERS left. I don't think he's going to be able to get it done.
No.
Jumps up to FIBA, who comes around the final corner. The fireworks go off, and he gets the win for McLaren. Great drive from him. And Mikhail comes across in P2 for Racing Point. And back to this battle for third. Trin still leads it. And he's still got a nice little gap to Matsoid, so I don't think he's under any trouble at all. He comes up to this final corner. And it looks like it's P3 for Ferrari. Matsoid comes across in P4, but gets jumped by Artanis on penalties. Jacob 5th, Big Al 6th, Pacey 7th, Matsoid 8th, Stars comes across in 9th.
Combined and Pondon have been trading places.
And yeah, Pondon has managed to hold on in front of Combined, but Pondon P11, Combined P12. We've got Wahid coming across in 13th after the troubles that the Williams drivers had a lot earlier. Great result by Wahid to stick in there and get a 13th. The Sid AI comes across in 14th. And Apollo Pepsi 15th. Unfortunately, that contact with Panda really ruined his chances of a good result there. Flyboy P16. And Panda comes across in 17th. And the Ferrari of Smitty in 18th. And Geordie a little bit further back in the Williams. Fortunately, had a pretty horrid race. I think after that safety car restart, I think that kind of bottled his strategy a bit. He should have hit, I think, under safety car. Stayed out on the softs and yeah, just compromised his race result from there. So a pretty good race in the end. We had 2 safety cars, and I think after that second safety car, the race really came alive. We had quite a few great battles. 2 nice battle packs going on. And I think we had a pretty entertaining value there. So congratulations to FIBA from McLaren for getting the win. Mikhail for Racing Point coming in P2, and the Ferrari of Trin in P3. Great driving from the 3 of them.
Trin also picking up driver of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he qualified outside the top 10, so great result from him to come home on the podium. Okay, just run through the rest of the results. We've got Artanis in 4th, Jacob 5th, Big Al 6th, Pacey 7th, Matsoid 8th, T-Mac 9th, and Stars 10th. We then had Pondon combined, Wahid, Sid, Apollo Pepsi, Flyboy, Panda, Smitty, Geordie, with PTR the only DNF. And I think the fastest lap of the race was by FIBA with 1:35.828. Alright, we've got a couple of minutes to the start of the Tier 2 race, so I'm going to take a short break, let Bandcamp get into his car for the Tier 2 race, and we'll be back shortly. Thank you very much, Band, for joining me for commentary. And we'll see the rest of you shortly. See you then. back, ladies and gentlemen, to round 8, season 6 of Tier 1 of Aussie Formula Racing here at Marina Bay in Singapore. Just loading up into the qualifying session now. We'll run through some of the track highlights and features while we get ready for the session. It's the longest circuit on the calendar here, as we saw in our Tier 1 race slightly earlier. The race nearly went for about an hour all up because of the safety cars. A lot of the action that we had. Hopefully we get another action-packed race here for Tier 2 as well. 23 corner circuit. Had last season, turn 8. Contact between Trin, Pondon and Stars. Had a bit of desync, caused this one. A Renault squeezing the Williams into the wall, and then the Mercedes coming together with the Williams as well. And then the two drivers picking up wing damage. Was our lead battle pack before the pit stop there, so ruined a couple of races. We had turn 8 battle between Simdogger and Keeper as well. The Ferrari and the Williams going side by side all the way down the first DRS straight. Banging tyres there into turn 7 and then came up into turn 8. And you see the low group surface, the Ferrari spinallering into the wall and damaging that front wing. We also saw Simdogger do a very similar thing at turn 14, just lit up those cold, hard tyres that were fresh on and spun into the inside wall, damaging his front wing. Ruining his chances of a good result. Okay, just going to jump across into the qualifying session now. We currently have Keeper on his outlap. We're just going to jump up to the Williams of, I believe that's Batemate, who's on his flying lap. Not on his flying lap, but he's on his out lap. Oh, Hero has picked up a 5-place grid penalty for coming together with the Williams there. I wonder if he's picked up any wing damage. It's a bit weird. Hero's in the pits, he must have... Go onto the off-board shot. There we go. Hero's got wing damage there on his right end plate, so he has hit the back of the Williams and picked up a penalty for his efforts. Jumping up onto Batemate, who's going to be coming up for his flying lap in a moment. Batemate starting his lap now. A bit of traffic behind him as well. So we got Matt Dabry filling in tonight. Reserve driver. I'm back. Welcome Apollo Pepsi, joining me in the commentary box for the Tier 2 race tonight. How you doing?
Pretty good. Well, no, after last race.
Yeah, well, we saw a bit of contact between you and Panda. Are you able to explain your perspective of what happened there?
Him just diving it when he has the chance. More like it.
Yeah, we didn't quite catch.
It.
Yeah, we didn't quite catch much of it. We had an off-board shot, and we just saw the two of you just go straight on. And the next minute, yeah, you're basically forming a T in the runoff area. Yeah, it's unfortunate. He was doing really well in that race. It's unfortunate how it ended, but better luck next time. Just on board
Stuff happened.
Exactly. So we're just on board with Batemate at the moment. He's the first car on a flying lap. We actually had Hero hit the back of him just before and pick up a 5th-place grid penalty for it, so it's a bit weird what happened, but anyway, further down the grid than wherever he qualifies. Batemate coming around the final corner now. And he goes provisional pole for 35.2, so pretty decent time there on the softs, so I think he'll be sandbagging there as Keeper comes across with 37.7, so I wonder if there'll be many drivers trying to qualify on the medium tyre. We did see quite a lot of the grid in Tier 1 try and do so. A few of them really struggling to get times good enough for the top 10.
I think most of the grid went with the medium strap for Tier 1, and we might see the same thing for Tier 2. Just watching Vassar at the moment do his lap on the sauce.
Yeah, he's used up a lot of his ERS, so I wonder if this is his second flyer or no, still the first one.
I think he invalidated his first one.
Comes through in the final corner now. It's to 137.4. Bit off the pace there. McLaren off at turn 7, I think, 7 or 8. On the board with the Ferrari of Bully. Flying laps, currently purple in sector 2, but he has just invalidated as I came on board. Thank you for the follow, Finn 7614. And see if the Williams of Mr. Spicino is on a lap. Grab from McLaren of Wingman on a lap though, catching up to the back of Batemate. He's hopefully going to get out of the way of the McLaren. It's pretty close. It's going to be affecting the airflow across the front of the McLaren. He does pull into the pits. Thanks for the follow. As I said, Ewan and Brownie Boy 013 and Captain Grimm 901st. As Wingman is a 135.9. Goes purple in the third sector.
He also had a purple second. It just missed out on the first one.
Yeah.
Playing pole.
Very close. Skins comes across with 35.9 on the medium tyres. So we normally see him do his first lap on the mediums. And then he comes out on the softs a little bit later. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see who does decide to set their fastest time on the mediums. There's a lot of drivers doing 137s, and we saw in Tier 1, most of the cars in 37s came back out on the medium, so they might just be turning the engine down and running low ERS just to set on some banker times so that they don't start dead last if they DNF on their push laps. We'll just have to wait and see. Currently got Hero on a flying lap at the moment in the Haas.
Currently doing no EOS, so that might indicate the medium run later down the line.
Yeah, we noticed quite a few of the drivers doing that in Tier 1, basically just sandbagging, making the car run slower, so they still get the practice in, the warm-up. So we've got a McLaren very slow there on the back straight, and Renault as well. It's been a very tidy lap from Hero. Swings it in nice into the final corner and backs right out of the throttle and sets a 137 flat. So yeah, definitely a sandbag lap, that one. So Captain Grimm is about 50-50, I'd say, roughly, between wheel and controller users. So we're all on PC here, but yeah, so there'll be some people just using the gamepad. But we've quite a few as well who'll be running proper wheels, whether they be Logitech, Trustmaster, or Fanatec. Psycho is about to start a flying lap for Racing Point. Very conservative into turn 1. He's got his ERS on, so it looks like this might be a bit of slap. Looks like he's been a bit conservative into the corners, not trying to take too much curb. He's going to invalidate, get a banker time on the board. Still 9 minutes to go on the qualifying session, of course, so plenty of time to come back out and set a flying hot lap. He goes purple in the first sector. Little lock up on the front left. Shouldn't affect his time too much as he comes into the Singapore sling. This is the apex slightly. Across the bridge into the hairpin, takes a wide line in, short shifting up through the gears to control the wheel spin on the exit. Opens up the DRS on the back straight. Purple again in the second sector. Tiny lock up in the front right through the right-hander, but controls it nicely. Oh, and he does invalidate, turned it in a little bit too early across the curb, and all four wheels over that white line, and that's enough to invalidate.
Yeah, just behind him is Mr. Spice, also on the lap. Looks like they were both pushing up.
Comes around the final corner, he's run out of his ERS deployment for the lap, and goes fourth fastest with 135.9. So we saw pole in Tier 1, I think it was a 134.6 from Pacey on the soft tyre. So there's a bit of time to find from these guys, so not sure if there's still a bit of sandbagging going on, or we're seeing a few of the guys not yet setting their maximum. So Matt Dabry has invalidated this run. We're going to have a little look at Decelerate. It's just behind him, about to finish his lap. And he backs out of the throttle as well at the final corner, so a little bit of gamesmanship going on here. A few of them not wanting to show their hand just yet. As McLaren quantum effect comes across the line, goes P3 with a 135.9 as well. He's just 15 thousandths of a second off his teammate. As Bully runs very wide across the curb at turn 3, nearly invalidated. Lights, you've still got 6 minutes if you want to join, but you will start at the back of the grid.
I'm not sure if they removed that bug or not, because I've seen in other lobbies it not happen.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky.
Both McLarens have done in laps on the soft tyre, so doesn't look like they'll be able to improve.
Yeah, the sector 3 yellow, looks like the Williams has gone straight off into the runoff area just before the grandstand section. As Ferrari Bully comes through into the hairpin. Takes a bit of a tighter line than we saw in the cars before. Bully's about to come up to that grandstand section now. The Williams is still there. And I think it's just cleared. Comes through under the grandstand. And Williams does stay out of his way. Bully's car looking very twitchy through those big buttons, and there's a bit of front wing end plate sitting there on the racing line at the second last corner. It looks like someone's come together with the wall. And Bully set to 137.9. Enough for P14 at the moment. Ooh, as he hits the wall at the exit of turn 3 as well again. So Bandcamp started in Tier 2 for the rest of the season now. He's currently in P12 with a 137.7. I don't think we've seen his maximum potential just yet.
Seabird was out breaking himself at the hairpin.
Yeah, we've got Hero on an outlap on the medium tyres, and we're seeing Mika as well from Haas. So both Haas drivers running out on the medium tyre. And we do have the Ferrari of Saxa. Don't think he's on a flying lap. He's still pushing, but he might be doing it. That was Matt Dabry's front wing we saw on the racing line.
Where?
On the near the Singapore wall on the second last corner. So he's obviously understeered a little bit into the wall. We'll jump up with...
we might get a 5 second or 5. Yep, there we have it.
Oh, keepers hit Saxa.
That was in the pit lane.
Oh no.
That's not going to help them at all.
No, and I think Hero as well has a 5-place grid penalty from earlier in the session, coming together with Batemate. Just on board with Hero at the moment, he's on the medium tyre.
Yep, Hero 5 grid place penalty, same with Keeper.
Oh, a big lock up, and the left-hander ran wide, had to get right at the throttle to avoid going into the wall. Rolex corner. across the bridge and into the hairpin. He clips that little bit of curb right on the inside. Flat. Goes purple in the second sector. So he's obviously pushing this time around. Lock up in the front right. Comes into the twisted section. Start of sector 3. Goes under the grandstand, nice and tidy. Keeps it tight. Hits the curbs. Oh, nearly invalidates across the curb under the overpass in the second last corner. And the final one, just down the one gear, has run out of deployment. And goes P3 with 135.4 on the medium tyre. And his teammate Mika going under the grandstand at the moment. He's currently 5/10 up on his time. That'll put him up into about P11. Thanks for the follow, Morza. Doesn't short shift like his teammate did, but he goes up into P10 with a 137.
Our Baymates came out on the medium tyre now.
Yeah,
See if he's able to improve.
got his teammate as well, Mr. Spicer, in the final sector, about to start his flying lap. We've got Mercedes of Nut has invalidated, and I think his wingman's on a flying lap as well. No, he's got his ERS off, so jump on board with Mr. Spicer as he comes to turn 1 on his flying lap on the mediums. See the rear looking a little bit loose as he goes through the first couple of corners. Not sure if his tyres are completely switched on or if that's just his setup. It's the end of sector 1. And he's currently a 10th down on his time on the softs.
So keepers decide to retire. He's not going to improve or get out in time anymore.
Bank camp for Renault coming out on the soft tyre. It's interesting as Ski. Oh, as Mr. Spicer's lost it across the bridge. Oh, he's lost his front wing and he reverses around the hairpin. He's actually done really well there to keep it going. But
There's a Red Bull coming.
yeah, he's got to get out of the way. The Red Bull of Ali, I think that is. Or is
That's
Matt Dabry.
Ali just coming in end of sector 1 now.
Mr. Spicer's been able to stay out of the way, but he's lost his front wing. He's not going to be able to set a time on the mediums, unfortunately for him. I'll watch the Ferrari of Saxa go past. No, that was Ferrari Bully on his outlap. Let's see. Got a Racing Point at the Zellerate and Psycho on outlaps. We've got a Red Bull.
I think
Who's the next
Nut will be the first one to come across to set a time, I believe.
go. Yes, there we go. So hopefully he's got enough fuel in the car. He's gone purple in the second sector, but he didn't validate his first lap on this set of tyres, so I don't know if he has enough juice. Looks like the Ferrari Bully did not come out of the pits early enough, and he has not been able to set a time on those soft tyres. He's got a checkered flag. It's Nut coming up to the overpass and into the final corner. Bite from his tyres there. Goes P4 with 135.8. Got the Red Bull of Ali. Comes through P4 with 135.7. Got the Williams of... Who have we got?
Batemate.
Batemate about to cross the line. Does not improve.
He invalid his lap.
Got the Ferrari of Saxa about to cross the line as well. Comes across the line. Does not improve. We've got a Haas coming to the pits there. We've got a Renault of Skins next across the line on fresh soft tyres. And he improves. 134.5. First driver into the 34s. We've got Bandcamp just behind him as well. Comes in P9 with 136 flat. Then we've got the two McLaren drivers coming across the line. Wingman goes P2 with 134.666. And we've got Quantum Effect about to cross the line as well. Goes P2 with 134.554. Just 3 thousandths of a second off pole position. We've then got the Racing Point of Decelerate, who has invalidated his lap. We've then got another Haas of Mika about to cross the line as well. Doesn't improve. We've got the Racing Point of Psycho, goes P12 with 137.0, and the Red Bull of Matt Dabry comes across the line, P6 with 135.499. right, so on pole position, we've got the Renault of Skins with 134.551 and the McLaren of Quantum Effect with 134.554 and Wingman of 134.666, rounding out our top 3. Then got Hero with a 5-place grid penalty. Will be starting from 9th position with Baitmate, Matsia Dabri, Ali, Nut and Mr. Spicer all moving up 1 position. We've got Bandcamp there for Renault in P10 with 136.0 on the soft tyre. We've then got Mika, Saxa, Psycho, Decelerate, Vasa, Keeper and Bully rounding out the grid. Keeper getting a 5-position grid penalty as well, so he will start from dead last on the grid. So we've only got the 3 cars in the top 10 starting on the medium tyre, Hero, Matsia Dabri and Ali. So they will start on the mediums. The others in the top 10 will be starting on the softs, and then everyone outside the top 10 will have free choice of tyre to start with. So expect them all to be on the mediums or the hards, as this is ideally a one-stop strategy. But yeah, never know. Most likely we'll see a safety car, possibly 2 like we did in Tier 1. We'll just have to wait and see how it unfolds. Pepsi, do you have any predictions for the race? Anyone to watch in particular tonight?
I completely missed the grid, so I'll give it in a second.
No worries at all. I'm just waiting for the drivers to select their tyre strategy and fuel levels for the race. So just be a few more seconds while we wait for them to load in. So I think it'd be interesting to see how Bandcamp's race pace goes in Tier 2. We've seen him pretty consistently in the back end of the points in Tier 1. So I wonder if we'll see him a little bit further up the grid in Tier 2. So we've got the countdown now for the formation lap, which will start in about 10 seconds. And it looks like our race start will be in clear condition. Alright, let's see what the tyre strategies are for our Tier 2 race. And interestingly, we've got Keeper at the back of the grid starting on the soft tyre. Psycho's on the hards, but yeah, everyone outside the top 10, apart from those 2, opting to start on the medium tyres, which is not that surprising.
Say, look out for Psycho on that hard tyre. You can get quite far up the grid if you don't get damage.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw a couple of drivers in Tier 1 on the hard tyre managed to get very deep into the race, and a very fortunate safety car at the end meant they could have cheap pit stops. So this is one of the tracks where track position is key. If you can get that clean air, it doesn't really matter what tyre you're on, but if you can stay there for a good length of time, you'll be able to pull away quite comfortably. And if you are stuck in a bit of a train, the undercut is very powerful here, because if you do come out into clean air, you can push and save a little bit of time on those fresh tyres and clean air and overtake your competition when they come in to change their tyres. So just watching the field come through. Skins a very quick formation lap. The rest of the field still going. Keeper is still only at turn 6 or 7.
Yes.
So
it's not going to be helpful for his tyres.
Definitely not. So both Red Bull cars managing to qualify in the medium tyre in the top 10. Outside the top 10, noticing the Racing Point have split their strategies. Ferrari drivers both opting for the mediums. So, interesting to see how that all plays out. And Skins not backing up the field at all. And his AI is going to be taking over control now in the final corner. And there's a massive gap. I think the Mercedes of Keeper's only just managed to catch up to Bully. And they're not even under the grandstand yet, so...
Multiple formation laps happening at the moment. 2 different groups.
Absolutely. Alright, just watching Keeper. What's the effects of dirty air? So you get a little bit more understeer. So in the game it tries to replicate it a little bit. You do notice a little bit more understeer, but not a massive amount. But it is enough to just, disrupt the car a little bit. And a bit more painful on the front tyres as well. Thank you so much for the follow, suggestion, forgive, and Theory Duck. Just about to start this Tier 2 race here at Singapore for round 8 of Aussie Formula Racing. The lights are coming on, the engines are revving. And we're away. It looked like the Red Bull of Matsia Dabri had a pretty decent start, but the Haas as well of Hero in the middle there getting a pretty decent start as well. So the Red Bulls are going side by side through turn 1, and they're 3 wide a little bit further back with the Ferrari and the Haas turn 1. A little bit of contact between the Williams and the Mercedes there. Nearly loses rear. So come through turn 3 and 4. A bit tidy. There's a yellow flag at the back. Looks like we've got a Mercedes round. This looks like it's Keeper. Psycho have come together. The Racing Point has got some front wing damage. I'm not sure if Keeper's got some damage as well. We'll jump a little bit further up the green. It looks like they're pretty much single file at the moment. A bit of Constantina going into the corner.
Doesn't look like Psycho picked up any damage from that spin at turn 4.
It might have been the Mercedes front wing there. There was definitely some debris on the apex of the corner.
Keep it still clean. Not damage.
Must have got away with it then. So come across the bridge. Skins pulled out a 6.5-tenth lead at the moment. Got a little bit of change of position between Accelerate and Mr. Spice. So the Williams and the Race Point going side by side on the back straight. Still side by side, a little bit of overlap from the Williams, but he backed out to avoid contacts with the Racing Point. And thank you very much for the follows. Feature George Gamer and Snowflake. Come up to the end of the first lap, and we have Skins in the lead, ahead of Wingman and Quantum Effect, Baitmate in P4, Ali P5, Hero and Matsia Dabri as well. Matt Dabri going a little bit backwards there, off the grids, up that. It looked like he had a better getaway, but come back a little bit. We've got Keeper and Barca exchange of positions on the pit straight. Mercedes on those fresh soft tyres, trying to make the most of it, get back through the grid, up that little spin. Now we've got Psycho. P17 has managed to catch up to the back of the field, so he hasn't lost too much time in the long run. It's still not the best start for him as the leaderboard goes cactus. We'll try and find... Accelerates. No. Yeah. There he is. Accelerate on the back of Bandcamp. We've got a yellow flag. It looks like the Mercedes of Keeper's gone round again. This time at turn 6.
We'll see if there's damage.
No wing damage by the looks of it, but yeah, those soft tyres are going to be pretty cooked.
He's going to want to pit a lap early now to hard tyres. Usually lap 6 pit stop for the soft ones, but Keeper might have to make that lap 4 or 5 now.
Watching Bandcamp at the moment, just 4 tenths behind Mika in the Haas. Bullies picked up our first penalty, 3 seconds for exceeding track limits. All of our top 3 setting fastest laps as well at Quantum Effect. Just 2 tenths behind his teammate. Is there going to be a bit of team orders here, or are they going to be allowed to race? Currently Quantum just 4 tenths behind his teammate. Wingman sitting around a 6-tenth mark behind Skins, who's looks like he's starting to peel away just a little bit, but DRS has been enabled now, and both McLarens with that flap wide open. Closing the gap a little bit more. And jump back to Matsuo Dabri. He's right on the back of the Haas of Hero, just 2 tenths behind. As Wingman has left the session. Oh, he is sitting in P2 at the moment. He's dropped out of DRS range of Skins. Quantum Effect as well is still hanging in there, but this isn't good for McLaren at all. But Skins is going to want to capitalise here as Quantum Effect goes through his ghosted teammate. And he's now 1.5 seconds away from Skins, so he has no DRS at this point to defend from Baitmate. A little bit further down the field. Still the cars getting past the Ghost AI. Quantum Effect still just over a second behind Skins. He's going to want to get back in that DRS range. He's going to have a hard time defending from Baitmate. As Wingman has rejoined, but he's dropped all the way down to P7 from P2. So there's a horrid run of bad luck there. We've got a car around the racing point of Decelerate. Has gone around at the second last corner. He's got no wing damage, but those rears are going to be a bit warm now. And he's dropped all the way down to the back of the field. He's nearly overtaken by his teammate who comes into the pit. So Psycho, I'm not sure if he's picked up some... He has. He's lost his left end plate. So Racing Point having an absolutely horrid start to the race. As Quantum Effect has got into the DRS range of Skins. So Skins looks like he's made a little mistake there through the first sector. And that gap has come down to less than a second.
There goes Deltas.
Yeah, I've lost all the Deltas as well. Thankfully the grid positions are still correct, I believe. So McLaren there of Wingman trying to get those positions back. Oh, and the Haas has gone around. The Haas has gone around. Mika has lost his front wing end plate. He lost it on the rear of turn 6. I think it was 6 or 7. And yeah, he's lost a fair chunk of that right-hand side of his front wing. And that's allowed Wingman to go back up to P9 and Bandcamp up to P10.
And just been inside DRS of Wingman at the moment. Gonna allow him to claw a little bit of time on Saxa ahead.
Got the Mercedes of Keeper making a pass on Mika's damaged Haas at the hairpin. And Decelerate as well, right on the back of him there. Pretty aggressively. The Racing Point's trying to find a spot to go through. And the Mercedes is clear. The Racing Point tries to follow through. They have to work a little bit harder for it. But he should get it done, and he does. Mika decides to back out, let the faster cars through until he gets that wing replaced. He's going to jump a bit further up the field. Looks like Baitmate's under a fair bit of pressure from the Red Bull of Ali. Doesn't have any DRS yet, but he has got into range of Quantum Effect now. Hero's made his way back up to P5 after that grid penalty. Had him down to P9. And we've got a bit of a DRS train now forming behind our race leader, whose margins completely plummeted after that little mistake he made. But we've also got Nut under a lot of pressure from Saxa and the Ferrari. Gives him a bit of a squeeze.
Ollie going down the inside of Hero at turn 7.
Yeah, he can't quite get it done. The Haas stays in front. And now Mathieu Dabry, he's let through. Red Bull of Ali lets his teammate through. It's a little bit further back. It looks like the Ferrari of Saxa tries to get past the Mercedes, loses the rear and a big tank slapper. And now the McLaren of Wingman is trying to get back through. They're going side by side across the bridge. This is not... Yeah, the McLaren pulls back in. Oh, the McLaren's broken his front wing. He ran up the back of the Ferrari, and now Bandcamp's trying to get past. Oh, there's a bit of contact there between the McLaren and the Renault. I don't think Bandcamp's picked up any damage from that, but I don't think he'll be appreciating getting lapped like that on the straight.
Doesn't look like it.
But yeah, Wingman's definitely lost his left end plate there from running up the back, and he has left the session again. I'm not sure if it's another connection issue or if he's had a bit of a rage quit, but... Yeah,
Looks like the softs are starting to die. Top 3 has just dropped back into the medium runners.
Absolutely, Hero absolutely chewing through them as Skins pulls the trigger first. He comes to the pits for Renault.
That might be a tiny bit early for hard tyres.
Hero gets past the Williams of Baitmate and the Red Bull of Mathieu Dabry trying to get past him as well. I don't think he's quite close enough yet.
So Skins switching tyres to mediums, but he's also getting a wing change.
So maybe a 2-stop there from Skins. Mathieu Dabry pushing the Williams through turn 4. He's going to want to try and get past him pretty early on the straight, and he does. They're side by side already at the little kink at turn 5. And he gets clear of the Williams well before the braking zone. So yeah, it looks like the softs are starting to fall off the cliff. Quantum Effect now just 3/10 in front of Hero. As we've got Nut, Wingman and Mr. Spicer pitting at the moment. Nut coming back out onto the track in P13. As Decelerate and Keeper exchanging positions as well. Racing Point getting past the Mercedes. Does run a little bit deep though. Just going to jump into this little battle pack for first. Ooh, there's Mathieu Dabry again getting so close to the back of the Haas. He's going to make a move at the end of the back straight. He's pretty close. He's not using his ERS. Oh, he touches the Haas, and the Haas, big slide. He drifted around the corner there, but he stays in front. I think the Red Bull may have backed out there, and he has lost the position to Baitmate as well. I think Mathieu Dabry had to give the position to the Haas. It was his fault that there was contact. And
good sportsmanship.
Yeah, at the end, yeah, Mathieu Dabry losing position, and now his teammate Ali's back on his gearbox.
he's just got a slow Williams ahead of him.
As we've got the McLaren and Quantum Effect coming into the pits as well. Williams and Batemate comes into the pits too. So that's it. Dabry back up into P2. Ali just behind him as well. They both have DRS though, so it won't be too much fighting from the Red Bulls yet. But they are out of the DRS range of Hearts of Hero though, so they're going to be battling a bit between the two Red Bulls. And yeah, we do see, as you noted, Bandcamp coming in to get rid of those soft tyres as well, all jumping onto the mediums. Keeper, the only car on the grid at the moment, not on the medium tyre.
Interesting to see that people will go for the two-stop over the medium or the soft hard strat.
Oh, as we've got Batemate and Skins going side by side through turn 3. Skins with that little undercut, even with the wing damage, is still able to stay out in front of Batemate.
The undercut just from soft to new tyres is massive because of the tyre temps through the last sector.
Absolutely. So Batemate, he probably would have been hoping that he'd come out in front of the Renault. The Renault had to pit a little bit early. His softs were a bit cooked and he had a bit of wing damage as well. So that was obviously what little mistake he made in that first sector, that we saw that little lead he had over Hero dissolve basically in the first couple of corners. But he has managed to stay out in front of Batemate. So we'll jump up to Decelerate, who's closing in on the back of Vassar for P6. Just a couple of tenths behind him as Quantum Effect has picked up a 3-second penalty there.
Might see Keeper coming to pit lane this lap for either the hard tyre or the two-stop.
Oh, the Racing Point nearly hitting the back of the AlphaTauri in the final corner. He's got DRS open now on the run into turn 1. I don't think he's quite close enough yet to make a move, as Keeper does pit off the soft tyre, so we'll keep an eye on that to see which tyre he goes onto. As Skin sets the fastest lap of the race with a 140.6, but then beaten by Nut with a 140.1.
Keeper onto
on the
mediums.
Yeah.
So most of the soft runners go for the two-stop strategy over the hards.
As you see Decelerate get past Vassar before the kink at turn 5. Pretty comfy move. Looked like Vassar had a pretty horrid exit out of turn 4. Racing Point making short work. They jump up to Matsuya Dabry, is just 4 tenths behind our race leader of Hero. They're going through the hairpin now, so he may be vulnerable on the back straight with the DRS coming wide open. Oh no, he's not got it open. I don't know if he's got a DRS fault or what's happening there, but yeah, Matt Dabry not
probably
making the move.
Waiting for the longer DRS straight to make the move.
Possibly. He may just be wanting to sit behind the Haas and just preserve the tyres, save a bit of fuel. And go under the grandstand.
Same time he's doing his own, Hero generate a lot of DRS to defend.
So I wonder if he's going to let his teammate pass then, if his DRS lap does come open, so maybe he was just waiting for the right point to do it. We'll jump a little bit further back. We've got Quantum Effect making a move on the AlphaTauri. He's so close to the back of him. As they come up to the final corner, just a couple of tenths separate them. Effect on much fresher tyres. Batemate does set the fastest lap of the race.
Matt Dabry going around the outside of Hero at turn 5 at the King, just getting past.
He's got it done. Quantum Effect got past Vassar as well at turn 1. Now Ali right on the back of Hero now. Red Bull's putting a lot of pressure on the Haas driver. Going to jump down a little bit further as the Renault of Skins looks to get past the AlphaTauri of Vassar at turn 6. Oh, and the Williams of Batemate gets around him as well. It's like Vassar backed right out of it there, and he ended up going back 2 positions.
So Matt being able to drop Hero out the most, so Hero's got no DRS to defend from Ali now. But Hero is carrying a wing damage.
Yeah, he's lost that left end plate. So yeah, it's the second time we've seen the race leader pick up a little bit of wing damage, and yeah, that's going to make him vulnerable to the second Red Bull driver.
It's just going downhill for Hero at the moment.
Ponton asking the 8 ball if there's going to be a safety car. He says, nah, mate. Oh, I'm not sure about that. Maybe he doesn't know that it's Singapore. Vassar holding on in front of Nut at the moment for P10. Very close battle. Ali all over the back of the Haas now. Hero running into turn 1. The Red Bull going very deep. Runs very wide.
Hero getting a switchback.
Yeah, Hero, very nice switchback there to keep second place. Red Bull having a little bit of a slide out of turn 3 once he got on the power.
Trying to look to make it down this straight now.
Yeah, Red Bull opens up the DRS. In the slipstream.
Hero not even trying to defend that.
Not much point with wing damage on the straight. You're going to miss a sitting duck. And the Red Bull gets the pass, and it's now a 1-2 for the Red Bull team. Look back further.
Psycho's had a little spin.
Yeah, he comes to the pits. He's lost his right end plate, and he's got a bit of damage to the main element as well. So not a great race for the Racing Point, as Vassar gets passed by Nut and Bandcamp. So I'm not sure if he's carrying an issue of some kind or he's just got no pace. But yeah, Nut going up into the points, and Bandcamp just behind him as well.
Batemate and Skin still going at it hard for P8.
Yeah, just jumping on board. They're coming to the Singapore Sling. There's just a couple of tenths between them. Up to the hairpin. Does look like the Williams is so much quicker through those corners. See if we can get anything on the straight. Looks like Skin's maybe picking up a little bit of a toe from the Racing Point in front, but he's not close enough yet to get DRS.
Oh, as Heroes just hit the wall again.
Oh, has he lost more of his wing? He's coming to the pits now.
I think this might be for the hard tyre at this point.
About 20 laps to go, so that would make sense. Try and get to the end. Yeah, track on the hards. Response effect, tries to close in on the back of Decelerate. So apparently got Red Bull 1-2 and Ferrari 3-4.
He's just going to drop behind Vassar now. Yes. It just drops behind Vassar. He's only, say, 15 seconds away from Quantum ahead.
So we've got Quantum Effect making a move on to Decelerate. Oh, he's not quite far enough alongside, but the Racing Point gives him plenty of space. And the McLaren goes through and takes P5. So the Ferrari of Bully runs very deep in front of him. Just half a second separates him. Bully been on those mediums since the start of the race. Quantum Effect on the 2-stop.
Going to see how much more grip Quantum has through the corners.
Thanks for the follow, Rotary Bonsai. So we've got Quantum Effect here trying to get P4. Goes through the hairpin. And he's so close to the back of the Ferrari. Tries a little switchback, and he's got a great run as we've got a little bit further back. Batemate getting past Skins as well at the hairpin. Quantum Effect gets the move done. The Renault and the Williams still side by side as we come to the corner at the end of the straight. The Renault pushes the Williams almost into the wall. And he manages to get the position back.
Lucky that Bateman was able to stay out of that wall.
Yeah, we actually saw George Russell get into the wall there by Romain Grosjean a couple of years ago. So we've got a yellow flag. We've got a McLaren pointing the wrong way under the grandstand. This Quantum Effect, it looks like he's spun under the grandstand.
And he's got a tiny bit of wing damage.
He has.
As well.
I'm not sure if he got hit then or if he's gone in. Oh no. Oh no.
VSP,
He got a virtual safety car. McLaren has lost his entire front wing there. So I think he's actually tried to do an Austin Powers 20-point turn there under the grandstand. And he's broken his wing while trying to do so. It's very unfortunate, but he'll come into the pits and get a slightly cheaper pit stop. But he has only just come onto those mediums, so his strategy's out the window now. I think he'll just be going on the hards to get to the end. Let's see if anyone else is going to benefit from that pit stop. I don't think so. Everyone else has already pit, I think, for their first stop, apart from the race leaders, and they're on the wrong side of the track to benefit from the VSC.
Just the top 5 and Vassar needing to pit. Probably all going to go to the hard tyre.
Oh, look at all these penalties. And we've got Skins has just broken his front wing on the back of the Racing Point. They all forgot about their deltas and slammed on the brakes.
Big check-up.
Yeah, the Racing Point absolutely slammed the brakes on in front of the Renault, and he's lost his front wing. But there's a few penalties that have come out of that. I think Bully's got a drive-through for speeding. So I think Bully's caused that. I think he's got on the brakes to avoid the penalty. And then the Racing Points responded as we've got the Williams getting past Skins now. They're still side by side, but I think Renault's got to give this one up. He's got too much wing damage.
He doesn't look like he wants to give up.
No. Oh, the Williams has gone deep. The Williams has hit the back of the Racing Point as well. And he's picked up some front wing damage as well. Lost his right end plate. Oh, he just looked... I think he went in too deep, missed his braking point, and got on the brakes and just drifted into the back of the Racing Point. And I think all three of them are going to have to come into the pits very soon as Ali has pulled the trigger on the medium strategy. So I think he's getting that front wing repaired now. No. No.
Ali didn't
Ali didn't have damage. That's right. So we've got the Ferrari of Bully getting his work done. They're double stacking at Ferrari.
No, Bully has a drive-through.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. As we've got Nut and Bandcamp coming through for P3 and P4.
So Hero has to come in the pit lane as well for the drive-through penalty. He's actually getting held up a tiny bit by Vassar through pit lane.
So we see a lot of cars coming to the pits at the moment. But all get sorted out.
I think Vassar didn't realise where the pit line was. Turned it on a bit too early.
So Bandcamp now just half a second behind Nut, who's currently sitting in P3. And that Dabry 20 seconds clear in the race lead.
It's actually a great race.
Oh, the Racing Point's gone round. The Racing Point has gone round. Decelerate on the bridge, has lost it. And that moves Nut up into P2, Bandcamp up to P3, and Bandcamp now has DRS on the Mercedes, and has got a massive chance to get into P2 of this race. Tries around the outside, but the Mercedes squeezes him up against the wall. He tries to switch back now. He's got the overtake on. He's trying to get past the Mercedes on the run into the next corner. The side-by-side gets pushed up onto the curb, and the Renault gets the move done. He's now up into P2.
Matt is now in pits for the hard tyre. See if he's able to keep that leader when he exits. I assume that he will.
Oh, it's going to be close. I think he will just. They might be side by side at turn 1.
No,
I think he's going to do it. Bandcamp is going to be in the lead of the race for T2.
He's got to come up behind. No, he'd definitely get ahead of his teammate.
Yeah, he's just in front of Ali there, but Bandcamp and Nut, I think, are on the two-stop strategy, so expect them to come into the pits in another 5 to 10 laps to truck on another set of mediums. As we've got Skins and Wingman going at it, but I think that's Wingman's AI a bit further back.
So I'm going to point out that Saxa is also P5 on the hard tyres.
Yeah, so he can
go in
the end. Yeah, he's done well.
So currently, Matt, Ali, and Saxa all podium, or theoretical podium finishes.
Yeah, so they can definitely go to the end, but I think anyone on the mediums at the moment is going to have to chuck on at least softs at the end, maybe another set on the mediums, but it's just too far to push the mediums to get to the end from here. Just going to jump a little bit further back. Quantum Effect is about to have a go at Hero into turn 6. It's just a
Quantum
little bit
Effect
too far back.
A little bit low on ERS. Hero's doing well, still on 70%. Hero's got a lot of defense ERS if he needs it. Wingman still being AI mode, so I think Wingman's just given up on trying to reconnect.
Yeah, he's got Baymax passing the AI now on the back straight. So field spread out a little bit. We're about at the halfway mark, so we've got Bandcamp leading the race, 2 seconds clear of Nut in P2. And that's our Dabry, about 4 seconds behind him. And we've got Ali so close to the back of his teammate, though. I wonder if there'll be a little bit of team orders here again.
Broadley still hasn't come in. He might actually come in this lap.
No, staying out. He's got the Renault right behind him. Oh, he just has to get out of the throttle to avoid running out the back of the Ferrari, but he's got the DRS wide open and should get him into turn 1. It's still side by side, but Skins gets the move done. Moves up to P8. As Bully runs very wide at the exit of turn 3, picks up the penalty for his efforts.
It's going to be very interesting near the end of the race because fresh mediums against hards are 2 seconds quicker near the end of the race. So it'll be very interesting. See what happens.
Yeah, definitely Bandcamp pulling out a little bit more of a lead on the Mercedes. He still has to pit again. Expect him in the next 5 laps or so.
Quantum still trying to force a move on Hero for 12th.
Ali again, right up at the back of his teammate. Another grandstand.
They made the next one to overtake Bully, who's still yet to pit. The only driver who hasn't pitted, I believe. What did Bully pit lap 1?
I think he pitted at the end of lap 1 or lap 2. Williams having a good look at him. He knows he's a lot faster, but just got to be patient and wait for the right time.
I think we'll see overtake onto the second DRS zone.
No, the Ferrari peels off into the pits now, so he's decided that he's had enough on those mediums. And he should be able to chuck on another set to the end, or he might be on the hards.
2 Red Bulls are similar and being very similar in pace. Might cost each other a bit of time just by getting that close to each other.
Yeah, Matt Dubry hasn't really caught up to the back of Nut that quickly. I mean, he's gained a second on him in the last few laps, but he's not catching him as quickly as I'd expect. Those mediums seem to have a fair bit of life still in them. But
Nut is holding that gap to Ban pretty well. It's no longer growing as much as it was.
yeah, it's just sitting around that 2-second mark, so they're sort of managing their race at the moment. It doesn't look like the Red Bulls are tripping over each other at the moment. I think Ali's just quite happy to sit behind and use the tow, save a bit of fuel and ERS and his tyres. Ooh, big slide from Ali there, just outside the grandstand section. Quantum effect just on the back of Hero now, 7/10 in it.
Like Smith, Spice and Skins trading places.
It's 2/10 between the Renault and the Williams driver. I think Skins should have him at the end of this straight.
Skins has been on a fresher set of tyres compared to Mr. Spice.
Yeah, he gets it done well before the braking zone. Moves up into P7.
Expect to see some of these medium runners come into pits fairly soon for a new set. Skins might be forced to go on to softs near the end since he had to pit early.
Looks like Nut may have made a little mistake. Bandcamp's now out to 3.2 seconds. Effect just dropping out of DRS range now of Hero. Has he still got it for this lap? He does.
Still has
It was
it.
borderline. I think he just crossed the detection point with less than a second, and that's managed to get him back down to 7/10.
If Hero really wants, he can break it this lap easily with the ERS he has stored.
Yeah, Quantum's got barely any. He's got the red light flashing, showing he's got less than 10%. As Matt Dabry and Ali have swapped positions, so it looks like it's Matt Dabry's turn to just save a little bit of fuel in ERS, although he's sitting on 93%, so it doesn't look like he's been using much at all. But Ali's moved up to P3.
Looks like Ollie just has a better raw pace at the moment on those hards.
Yeah, possibly. It could also be Matt Dabry is a reserve driver, so he might be letting Ali, who's fighting for the championship, to get through to get the extra points. So, if so, it's quite sporting of him. Standing a little bit further down. Quantum Effect still hanging in there on the back of Hero. He's not really able to close the gap much more than the 7/10 he's at. Bandcamp's now got the lead out to 4 seconds. As Nut has come into the pit, so we're chucking on the medium tyres to go to the end from here. And we're just going to see how much of an undercut he can get on Bandcamp, who's continued on.
The mediums tyres usually go off about this lap or next. Most likely it will be next lap if they're a fresh set of mediums.
So Bandcamp will be looking at the position that Nut comes out of the pits in, so he's in between the Williams drivers. So if you add 4 seconds to that time, he'll be just in front of Mr. Spicer by the looks of it. So come out of P7 at Band pits now. As we've got Skins and Keeper changing positions. So Skins has been on those tyres for 5 laps, still 12 to go. We'll be asking a lot of those mediums to try and get them to the end, but we'll see how it plays out. Perfect. Still half a second behind Hero. He's still hanging in there.
I see Band jumping this lap just to cover that undercut. And he's done that.
Peels off in, so we'll see. He should come out around about P7. Nuts right on the back of Mr. Spicer though, so this is going to be pretty close.
Might even come out ahead of Mr. Spice.
Yeah, well they're having a fair battle through the grandstand section. There's those 4 cars, 4 or 5 cars. About
Band's
to find out.
coming down pit lane now. Keeper's in pits as well.
There we go. Mr. Spicer actually peels off, so Nut on the pit straight. Yeah, he's going to come out well behind Bandcamp now. And what's the gap? It's about 5 seconds, 4.5. Oh, hang on, wait for it to sort itself out. So he has lost about a second and a half there. So it's only 3 seconds now. So Bandcamp has been able to cover it off. And he's in that clean air, importantly. So he's 6 seconds behind his teammate. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a little bit of team orders there and Band's let through with those fresh medium tyres. Skins also has a penalty, so it makes sense for them to let Band go through.
Well, if I was Skins, I would just... If Band catches within that gap and they just stay at that gap with their current pace, Nut might have a little bit of trouble catching, but if Band can keep him out of that 3 second of Skins, it can help him.
Yeah, it just depends what the strategy is. If Skins is planning to pit, it's possible that it might just sort itself out, but if Skins is trying to go long, they don't want to be battling because Skins' tyres won't last the distance.
Skins will be doing 5 more laps at this rate if he decides to stay on that tyre. Probably looking about finishing the race about 80% tyre wear. On the passes and the pit looks and Mika's jumped in, might be for wing damage.
Nutt sets the fastest lap of the race with 139.5. So his medium tyres clearly a lot quicker than everyone on the hards. So the Red Bulls getting very close together again. Just a couple of tenths separating Ali and Mattia Dabri out in front. Just wonder if they'll be using each other for a tow just to stay clear of Saxa and Skins and Bandcamp.
Well, they got the race under control. The only thing they don't need to do is hit each other.
You wouldn't expect Red Bull drivers to come together at all, would you? It's never happened before.
You've seen other teams do it.
So about half a second between the two Red Bull drivers, so not quite trading blows just yet, but keep an eye on it for sure. Just watching this little battle for P7 between Batemate Hero and Quantum Effect at the moment. On the hard tyres. Looking at it as well, Skins has closed the gap down to Saxa. It's just a second as well, so he might be trying to get past the Ferrari before Bandcamp even catches him, so it'll definitely help his finishing result if he can put one car between him and Band. Bandcamp does set the fastest lap of the race with a 138.8.
Skins just catching it back at Saxa now for third.
And Vassa under pressure now from the Williams of Mr. Spicer for P11.
Skins just gained a DRS into turn 4. Gonna allow us Skins to get a little bit more gap to Nut behind with that penalty.
Batemate goes defensive on Hero, who's just 2 tenths behind the Williams. Starting to see the different tyre strategies converge a bit. A few battles breaking out on the track to try and keep up with all of it. Skins may have a go at Saxa here at the end of the back straight. It's just half a second. You can see Bandcamp there in the distance. He's only just under 2 seconds behind his teammate as Mr. Spicer has got past Vassa. Skins can't quite get past the Ferrari just yet. Just 4 tenths separates them. Hero trying so desperately to get past Batemate. He's got very little ERS left. He's covering off from the Haas. He's 2 tenths behind. Bandcamp nearly in DRS range of his teammate. In fact, he's done it. He's within DRS range now, so Skins has got to get this move done now, or he'll have to let his teammate through.
Not at the moment, not catching them very quickly. It's holding the gap of 4.7 or 4.4.
Band is so much quicker than Skins at the moment. DRS open for both cars. Skins has got no ERS left though. He's got to let his teammate through. Bandcamp goes to the inside. And he makes the move done. Yeah, Skins has let him through, I think. He's got no ERS left. He's got a penalty. Out. Hero having another look at Batemate in the same corner, but can't quite do it. And Quantum Effect all over the back of the Haas now as well. So he's going to switch to the inside, but he doesn't quite have enough speed to get the move done there. It's a bit further back in the field. We've got Decelerate and Mr. Spicer changing positions. I think it was at Decelerate and Vassa.
Yep.
So Bandcamp on those fresh mediums. It's a great exit out of the hairpin. He's closing up on the Ferrari. I think he's just a little bit too far back to make the move stick here. Just going to jump back to Batemate in that little battle for P7. Got Hero and Quantum Effect. Trying to get closer. Not quite there yet.
Hero at the moment, the one with the most ERS in that pack at the moment. Batemate and Quantum sent about 12% after each straight.
Bandcamp's going to make the move into turn 1 here. He's not going to want to mess around. He wants to close that gap to the race leaders. If he can. DRS is open. He looks to the inside. He backs out at the last second. We've got a McLaren round at the second last corner. That's Quantum Effect. He was battling with Batemate and Hero there, so I wonder if they've come together. Stick with Renault Bandcamp. Just going to get past the Ferrari here. And run into turn 6.
His teammate just within DRS, so that's helping him against Nut as well.
Bandcamp gets it done at turn 5. A little kink on the straight. And he's got through.
Yeah, looks like Hero's having another look at fate.
Yeah, he's just a little bit too far back again. He's not quite able to get there.
Looks like Quantum's under a little bit of pressure from Keeper behind now.
Yeah, I think his tyres are going to be pretty cooked after that little spin he had. Second last corner.
Keeper is on those fresh set of
he tries
mediums.
a late move to block, and the Mercedes gets through. That was a very late defensive move by the McLaren, and the Mercedes just checks him up a little bit in the next corner, just let him know. He was too happy with that, but no damage. They get through okay. We've got a yellow flag. We've got a Haas around.
That's
Mika,
going
unfortunately.
around.
Yeah, just
Singapore
before the bridge.
sling.
Yeah, just before the bridge has had a bit of a spin off the curb. Gets out of the way of the lead cars.
It's actually facing the opposite direction to where near them.
So yeah, Quantum going to have a look at coming back a keeper, but he's on very old hards, so I don't think he's got the pace to do it.
Skin's just holding the ARS to Saxa, so that's still going to help him with Nut behind, but not too much.
Just looking at Matt Dabri, is now outside of DRS range of his teammate, so he's dropping off the pace a fair bit. So yeah, we've got Skins right on the back of the Ferrari, about half a second now, but Hero so close to the Williams and Batemate. He's been trying for a few laps now to get past, but can't quite do it. We've got 6 laps to go in this race.
He needs to make this move because the 2 drivers ahead of him have 3-second penalties.
Yeah, interesting to see what Hero's strategy is here. He's on 13 lap old hards and there's 6 laps to go. He's going to have to pit again because he's been on those hards for the longest out of anyone except for Psycho. And he gets through on the Williams. He does try and come back at him around the outside of the next corner. The Haas has to leave him a bit of space and the Williams has got the move back. He's done it. That was a great pass there from Batemate. But the Haas is still going to try and send it on the inside of the Singapore sling. He tries the outside and then the switchback, but the Haas has covered it off.
Good thing he backed out that one. That's not a place to go side by side in. Especially as soon as he hit that kink to go back to the right.
And just looking up towards the front, it looks like Nuts got onto the train of Saxa and Skins for P4. So he's on those fresher mediums as well, so we're starting to come towards him a little bit in the strategy.
Skin's just losing DRS, so Skin's going to be vulnerable at the moment. And he's got another 3-second penalty, so he's on 6 seconds. It's going to be in danger to Hero for behind him.
Yeah, I'd say those medium tyres on Skins are starting to fall off the cliff a little bit. Mercedes have not staying just out. Quite able to get the move done into turn 1, but he's setting him up now for the run into turn 6. Well, he may even get it done into turn 3. He's had a pretty good exit. Sorry, into turn 4.
Size better, just getting that DRS, has a better exit again.
Yeah, that Renault running so close to the outside wall of turn 4. And Nut just checking up a little bit. Gets the switch back. And makes the move done pretty cleanly. Matt Dabry's actually managed to get back past Ali, so another switcheroo. He was about 2 seconds behind Ali, and he's managed to come back and take the lead again. Not sure if Ali had any damage or anything like that. Looks like he's got both wing end plates still intact from the helicopter cam. But Bandcamp, look at that, 3.3 seconds. He's closed up quite nicely into the Red Bulls at the front. Can we see?
Might see a switch for Ali to go ahead again towards the end, though.
Possibly. I just wonder if Matt Dabry's going to help Ali charge up and then let Ali come back through and then try and defend from Band. Yeah, this could be sizing itself up to be a nice little battle for the race win towards the end of the race. It's been a pretty clean race as well. We've only seen the one virtual safety car here in Tier 2.
Can't say the same about Tier 1.
As Ali does get back through, Mattia Dabri lets him through. So I think they're doing a little bit of a tow with the DRS.
So Skins in pit.
So Skins has decided to come into the pits to get a fresh set of softs towards the end. Didn't think he'd be able to make it.
5 seconds. Sauce might be borderline going to the end. His Sauce would definitely drop off on the last lap.
Yeah, he may just be going for the fastest lap of the race. At that point, it should come out in front of Mr. Spicer. Yeah, quite comfortably. So, yeah, he'll have a bit of clean air to set a fastest lap. We'll see how this battle for the lead. This Bandcamp's nearly 1.5 seconds behind the race leaders, so this is going to be quite spicy. Band on those reasonably fresh medium tyres. Nut quite close to the back of Saxa as well, as Hard started to go off a bit. Could be seeing the Mercedes in P4. He does have a time penalty of 3 seconds, but if he keeps it clean...
Oh, Skins hit the wall after pitting.
Oh, he's lost his entire front wing.
On
a virtual safety car. Oh no. So Bandcamp's now 1.4 seconds away from the race leaders.
Might be able to gain a tiny bit of time here on the VRC as well, if he does it right.
Oh, it is less than a second now. The gap is less than a second to Matt Dabry. So...
Red Bulls might be trying to build that delta to flat-footed towards the end of it.
So Matt Dabry just a couple of tenths behind Ali now. And Bandcamp half a second behind Matt Dabry.
This is a fight to the end.
There we go, green flag, green flag. I think that worked out quite well for Band. He was mid-corner when the green flag came out, so...
And he grabs the DRS.
He's got DRS now on Matt Dabry. And Nutt as well has had a really good safety car restart. He has a look at the inside of the Ferrari. Oh, he backs out at the last second. He had his front wing just up the inside.
Actually giving him room for the outside line if he wanted.
Bandcamp just half a second behind the Red Bulls now.
Ali trying to give Matt the tiniest bit amount of DRS allowance.
Oh no, Matt Dabry's let Ben through, so Matt Dabry, being a tier 1 reserve driver, is here to fill out the numbers a little bit. So nice of him to just get out of the way and let Ali and Bandcamp fight for the win as full-time drivers in tier 2. So hats off to Matt Dabry for that. Doesn't want to get in the way of the championship fight.
I don't want to say this, but unless if they collide and Matt still gets the win.
Well, I mean, he tried. So Bandcamp's just outside of DRS range now of Ali's 1.2 seconds.
Not very close to back of Saxa for 4th as well.
Absolutely. So we've got 3 laps to go. We've got the Renault of Skins. It's gone a bit slow. I wonder, what's he trying to do there? Oh, he's still got his front wing. His wing. Has he lost his wing again? Oh no.
Probably.
Oh no, he's probably had a bit of an incident coming out of the pits. Oh, what a shame. Oh, when it's not your race, it's not your race. The Bandcamp. Oh no, it's just got a 10-second penalty for staying off the track and out of the way. Oh no.
This is hurting.
So Bandcamp now half a second behind Ali, as Nut just half a second behind Saxa as well. Not quite close enough this time. It's very, very close. Got 2.5 laps to go now. Starting to spice up nicely. We've got 2 little battles in the top 5. Keeping an eye on the rest of the field, but most of the gaps are just over a second. So yeah, we've still got yellow flags from Skins in sector 2, staying out of the way. Bandcamp on the back straight.
Him and Ali are very similar on the ERS levels. Matt's just sitting behind with a full ERS bar.
Well, Ali having to really push now. He doesn't have his teammate to help him out with the DRS to control his ERS either. Bandcamp about 7 tenths behind the Red Bull. Be a nice little battle to the end here for the win.
Now me and time might start to go off soon. Might go off on the last lap. So he has to get this move done if he wants to win.
Yeah, just 2 laps to go now, so he's running out of time to get it done, but he is pretty close. The Red Bull now half a second. He's got the DRS open. There's a yellow flag in the final sector as Skins is retired. He's crashed into the exit wall at the second last corner. Bandcamp just 0.4 of a second behind Ali now.
I'll have a look where yeah, he's full on hit that exit wall and he's in the middle of the track.
Hopefully he stays ghosted. Nut has got past Saxon now, so he's up into P4, but he's got to pull a 3-second gap to hold that position with his penalty.
Bryce trying to make a move on Quantum now. Down the inside at turn 2. Just like Mr. Spice might get it done. They're still side by side.
Quantum on 17 lap old hard, so he's got very little grip left in those tyres, but he's still trying to defend the position.
They may get another penalty.
Trying to break the toe, and he's being a bit cheeky there, moving a couple of times very late. I don't think Mr. Spice will be too happy with the way that the McLaren's defending there.
Quantum
Oh, he's gone round.
damage.
Mr. Spice has gone round. I think he's kept his front wing, but he lost the rear there, and he's dropped past the second. He's out of DRS range now.
And Quantum's holding damage. Oh, and he's
He's
retired.
retired.
As well.
Mr. Spice has gone straight on. Corner.
Yeah, looks like he's gone straight on into the wall.
Back up to the lead. Bandcamp just 0.3 of a second behind Ali now. He's really pushing now on the final lap of the race.
He's got to make the move on this straight.
We've got a Ferrari round as well. Looks like it might be Bully. I think that's Bully, yeah, in the second sector.
Looks like Ben's
just
close enough
0.3
to
of a
make
second.
the move.
Is he going to get the move done? He's got very little ERS left. He's got the DRS open. I don't think he's quite there yet. He's trying on the outside of the Red Bull. Switches back on the inside. Is he going to have the room on the outside now? Into the next corner. They're going side by side. The Red Bull just runs a little bit deep just to force it, but the Renault is going up the inside now. The next corner, he touches the rear of the Red Bull, and he goes round. Bandcamp is round. He's touched the rear tyre of the Red Bull. Oh, no, and he's broken his front wing. He's dropped down to P3.
And here comes Nut to pick up
has
the
gone
scrap.
through as well. The Ferrari just behind as well. Bandcamp's dropped down to P5 on the last lap of the race. Can you believe that? Oh, what a shame.
Oh, here comes Hero now.
Yeah, Hero gets past him as well. The Renault's got very bad wing damage now. Oh, what a shame. Anyway, we're going to jump back up because Nut's under a bit of pressure from Saxer as well in the Ferrari.
A little bit of a cheeky dive from Ben.
I just don't think he was far up enough on the inside. He could have waited. He had the DRS straight after the hairpin. He could have got the move done there. I think it was just a bit of rush, trying to get the move done as early as possible, and he's paid the price, unfortunately. Anyway, we'll jump up to Ali, who's leading the race, and comes around the final corner. The fireworks go off, and it's a victory for Ali. His teammate
Ben might actually, yeah, he's lost another position.
Matt Dabry running very slow, just to let a few guys through, not wanting to get too many points to affect the championship. Baitmate comes through. P5 on that. Matt Dabry's got a 10-second penalty for that as well. As Bandcamp comes through.
He just stopped.
And it goes P5.
He just stopped in track.
He may get disqualified if he's not careful.
No, he's still
going. He's still going. Keeper gets P7. Matt Dabry just about to cross the line. And he comes through at P8. We got Quantum Effect now in P9. Comes across the line. And does get that position as well. Decelerate the next one across the line. And P10 to round out the points. We got Vassar in P11.
So, Ali, Saxon, Hero.
Just waiting for Bully and Wingman to cross the finish line.
Not close to a podium, but
whoa! Bully with a big DNF at the final corner. Hopefully that hasn't glitched out the game. No, there we go. So congratulations to Ali with the race win. And Saxa, I think, came across the line in P2 there because of Nutt's 3-second penalty. And I think that's the Haas of Hero, I think, is on P3.
Yes.
So Nutt with his penalty ultimately costing him a podium finish. Adrian Newey there on the podium as well for Red Bull. Alright, so we've got Ali with the win, Saxa P2, Hero P3. Then got Nutt, Bandcamp still finishing in the top 5. Very unfortunate to break his wing on that last lap. Got Batemate in 6th, Keeper 7th, Matsia Dabri P8, and Quantum Effect P9 and Dizel at P10. And we've got Vasa, Psycho, Bully, Wingman, Mika, Mr. Spicer, and Skins rounding out the grids. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Aussie Formula Racing. Thank you to Apollo Pepsi for joining me in the commentary box for Tier 2 race. Thank you to Bandcamp for earlier in Tier 1. I've been Gus Rules. Thank you so much for your company tonight. And thank you for the follows, Van, Square Machine, and Michelle Roberts. We'll be back on Friday night at 8:30 Melbourne time for our Formula 2 League. And we'll be back next Sunday night as well for Tier 1 and Tier 2 at the same time as tonight. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.